And we are live. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It is 6:07 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I happen to be interviewing someone who is 3 hours away, time zone in Vegas. So it's 3:07 p.m. her time. But I'm so happy to be here this evening. And I'm really excited about today's show and today's interview. Let me give a shout out to some of the people that have typed something in the chat. Wally in the house. What is happening? Appreciate you coming through to support. You're gonna have to help me with this pronunciation, sister. At Amethyst, but I don't want to mispronounce your first name. So, Miss Amethyst, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sophia Sharif, mod in the house, always a breath of fresh air, a cool summer breeze. Thank you so much for all your positivity and for coming through with moderating as you do so expertly. Um, you're not the only expert moderator in the house. Going down, we got Miss Gail at night. I'm shouting out the mods. Thank you for keeping things so clean and so positive as well in the chat. With what we do, we don't have much of a problem with it on that point. But, in terms of all you do to help promote what we are doing, thank you so much in the Black YouTube. And I like to say all of YouTube. Going down, let's see, Julius Golden. How you doing, bruh? We just put in some work last night. We put it on wax, and it was a powerful, powerful evening. For those of you who missed what we did on Life or Death last night, it was absolutely amazing and powerful, very impactful performance that you participated in, sir. And I appreciate you for coming in and joining us today. OG Patrice is in the house. Greetings and salutations. How are you doing? I'm always glad to have you here. And, I'm going to talk about you a little bit because, it's because of you that I've connected with this amazing sister of ours who is doing amazing things in Las Vegas with the film festival. So I'm glad you're here as well. And, maybe at the end or somewhere in here, maybe we'll get you to come up and participate if you so choose. Yeah, I see you shouting out Miss Michelle. My girl, Miss Michelle, is in the building today. Love this sister to pieces. Absolutely. So before I bring Miss Michelle up, because this is the reason, as you all know, I'm a filmmaker and I have been extremely passionate about um, filmmaking for a really long time. For a really long time. My those of you who know me know, and it's been this way since I really started filmmaking, is that I'm in this to try to create stories that have a positive impact on people. And so for me, it's always trying to create something that I think could influence someone in some way for the positive. And I find myself within this full, as I guess you could say, environment or community of people who are like-minded, who want to come in and make inroads in this industry in these kinds of ways. And really, it's open for all kinds of different types of material as well. So just in the Black filmmaking community. And what we find is traditionally, as we know, the broader culture doesn't necessarily make room for the kinds of stories that we want to tell, the kinds of gifts we have to offer as talented people in terms of actors, directing, or any of the other aspects of filmmaking. And so we've thankfully over the years have had this rise of Black film festivals. And Black film festivals play such a huge and fundamental part of what we want to do and what we try to do um, in helping to get our stories out. That 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 cover the Black experience, if you will, Black culture, in a positive way or in an authentic way, as opposed to a stereotypical way. And so we have these beautiful, beautiful Black film festivals that have sprouted out over the years to help with that. So at these festivals, there's a lot of different things that go on, and I am so blessed to be now sort of turning my attention back to uh, the film industry. Many years ago, I have done my own projects and have had success, but I stepped away. And now, many years later, I'm going back into it, and I'm finding that I'm getting a chance to meet great people who have developed and um, created and developed these film festivals and participated in other ways to continue this overall mission of getting our stories out. And I just so happened to uh, have the occasion to kind of cross paths with one such individual, and that was through OG Patrice. OG Patrice put me in touch with this individual, very dynamic individual. And basically, she was like, hey, you two have to connect. Patrice was working with me on the Life or Death project, and Patrice is well aware and has supported this individual with her projects and endeavors and with her film festival. And we connected and absolutely hit it off. And I'm so happy to now be in a situation where I can go and support what she's doing. And so that's what today is about. We want to talk about the film festival that she is the founder of, and learn a little bit more about who she is as an individual, as well as the festival. And then we can talk about some of these other related things. So without further ado, that was a long little intro. I am now going to go ahead and bring up Miss Michelle. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm happy. I'm blessed. Today is Sunday. Got a little bit of rest in as well. But I was really excited and happy to prepare for this interview because what you have going with the Las Vegas Black Film Festival is just and I don't know, and I'm looking forward to finding out from you. But it seems like such an amazing uh, opportunity and event that you have put together here. Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of
So,
there.
so let's start. Miss Michelle, I want to give you some space here to let's settle in here, and just please introduce yourself in terms of your background. What I will say is that Miss Michelle is the founder of the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. This is upcoming the ninth annual,
Mhm.
and we just want to kind of find out a little bit about who Miss Michelle is and how you got to this point across the board in terms of putting on a Black film festival.
Well, again, my name is Miss Michelle. First name Miss, last name Michelle. I always jokingly say that to people. Unless you write me a check, you don't need to know my last name.
Okay, I like it.
um, and I've been a creative artist for out of the womb. I always tell people I was born to do what I'm doing, so it's no shock to me that I'm actually walking in my purpose, my
Mm,
destiny.
mm,
Um, how I started the Las Vegas Black Film Festival was, um, I went to film school. I started out first by doing uh, live theater on the stage. And then I decided that I wanted to take my gift to write and produce and tell stories to the big screen. So, I went back to school because, unlike myself, and obviously unlike you, there are a lot of people in our industry who don't support each other, who don't want to share information and what have you. Because before I decided to go to film school to get my degree in cinema productions, I because I'm pretty good with retaining information and learning off the fly because
mhm,
this is what I do. My first out was to join some of my friends and people that I know, peers, just kind of be on the set and watching how they put movies together and what have you.
Hmm.
That didn't work out so well because, like I was saying, unlike me and unlike obviously you,
Hmm.
people aren't as giving when it comes to helping you to learn and grow in a different area of this industry. So
Mm.
I decided to go back to school to get my degree in cinema productions. Right out of school, upon exit interview, the recruiter, and when I was sitting for my exit interview, the individual looked me square in my eyes, black face, black woman, and said, he was supposed to be giving me my marching orders. Or I was like, should I move to LA? Should I, what should I do? I'm all excited. I got my degree. I'm ready to go.
Right.
He said, you're a black woman. And, there's Taraji Henson, there's Viola Davis, there's Kerry Washington. He named whoever the top 5 were at the time, and
Hmm.
basically said, you should probably keep your day job because
Wow.
there's no room for more, and they're already fighting over the roles that there are for
Hmm.
basically my kind. Okay.
Hmm. And say, and who said this again? I just want to get this right, get this
It
straight. Who
was,
was it?
it
Who
was,
was it that? Yeah.
it
Hmm.
was the dean at the school where I graduated from
Wow.
upon my exit interview.
Wow.
He
Okay.
was supposed to be telling me where to go now that I am a degreed cinema production person.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was the rhetoric that I was presented with upon graduation. But I'm the wrong girl. I'm the wrong one. That for me, it was more of a fire starter than it was a Debbie Downer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It made me go, oh, really? Oh, that's how you see me and us. Okay, well, let me show you something. So
Okay. Okay.
after that, I went about producing movies. I first started by renting theaters to showcase my own films, and then, because I'm the type of person who loves to give and support other people, uh,
Hmm.
I decided, you know what? There's probably somebody else who heard that same type of rhetoric that I heard. Who
Hmm.
did.
Hmm.
I wanted to create a platform to where not only I can shine, but they can too, and be celebrated. And that was the inspiration behind
Okay.
starting the Las Vegas Black Film Festival.
Okay, so yeah, let's pause here. So I want to make sure I get everything straight. Basically, you ended up going, actually becoming degreed in what you wanted to do. Basically, kind of hit maybe a ceiling, or at least you didn't get encouragement. We'll put it that way,
Yeah.
and that motivated you to go out and begin to produce your own. And not
Yes.
only did you produce your own, but then you created the venue for you to be able to exhibit your own,
My
right?
own and others.
Okay, so I want to pause here just to underline something here where it would we would hope that maybe, even though this is such a bad really a bad thing, you would hope that maybe it's something that doesn't happen to a lot of people.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, I believe that it probably happens more often than not.
No
And
doubt
so
about
we no and so you're saying no doubt. So what happens is we find ourselves in a situation where we have to pull, in a way, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You have to have the internal motivation to step out,
it. Yeah.
right? And say, I am going to do this because I know I can. It's part of who I am. And
Exactly.
then make your own way.
Yeah.
And so before you even move forward, speak to how you feel just in terms of that collective experience. Like, do you think it's out there, and do you think this is just kind of the lay of the land, and this is how what we should expect as filmmakers of color?
Um, sadly, yes. I mean, because that's what it is. And
Hmm.
and the other layer that's so unfortunate is that even our peers, other filmmakers of color,
Hmm.
don't necessarily have the same energy that I'm sharing with you today to help one another.
Right.
Because unfortunately, it was other filmmakers of color who wouldn't allow me to be on set with them just to absorb the functionalities of how to make a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It my inspiration for going to school. So yeah, definitely it's in the atmosphere. And my thoughts as it relates to that is that whether it comes from your peers or from
Mhm.
some other, ethnic background, of folks in situational power positions that may, try to put a foot on you or sit on you,
Mhm.
so to speak, you still have to, like you said, strap up and pull
Mhm.
yourself up. You just have to have a I'm going to make it.
Mhm.
My making it doesn't depend on anyone else other than myself.
Mhm.
I mean, 'cause nobody can stop us but ourselves. It's because it's how you think that ultimately ends up, stopping you. I mean, if
Mhm.
Obama thought a black man can never be president, he would have never run. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Right.
So it's the same. It starts here
Mhm.
because as a man thinketh, so is he. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? If you
Mhm.
think you can't make it, and then
Mhm.
somebody who you esteem
Mhm.
tells you you can't make it, now you
Mhm.
got two I can't make it and you outvoted. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
got that. But I follow my own energy. And I have my dad and my mom to thank for that because they used to always tell me as a kid, you can do it. You can do it. Who told you you couldn't do it? Oh, you
Well,
know a bigger them,
right, right. So you had to start out and basically be really intentional about doing it yourself to get your start.
Yeah.
So I don't want to skip to the end because to me this sounds like a really interesting story here that we're telling, because where we are now is ninth annual with
Right.
another whole thing, right? So let's do this. Let's talk about how once you began to do these things, and then that led into you mentioning the film festival.
Mhm.
So what was it? What was the inroads into the film festival? And then talk a little bit about the momentum probably that you began to gather because you set out on the path and maybe attracted like-minded people.
So when I made the decision that I'm going to start the Las Vegas Black Film Festival,
Hmm.
I was in a relationship at the time. I got to tell you this because this is so, it happens to folks all the time. So I was
Hmm.
in a relationship with a man, okay, who came to my graduation, who started on the path that we were going to other festivals, together, and he's all in. And there was this one festival, I'm not going to mention the name of the festival, but there was this one festival that we went to where I looked on the screen and we watched probably 100 short films over the weekend of this particular festival. And
Mm.
I didn't see one movie that represented anybody that looked like me.
Mm.
And that was kind of like, it really didn't come to light until probably after watching like 50 or so films over the week. And I was just like, am I tripping or
Mm.
have I watched 50 films and I ain't seen not one chocolate person on the screen? I'm tripping right now. Okay. So that makes me want to watch for the rest of the weekend to see maybe they, there's 50 more films to go. So, and there was not one. So I thought maybe this is the wrong festival that I'm supposed to be at. Fast forwarding, this gentleman and I, who I was dating at the time, we on our way home in the car.
Mhm.
He says to me, what did you think about the festival? Blah, blah, blah. And because I was really quiet in the ride home in the car. And I said, am I tripping or maybe it was just the wrong place. I don't know, but there was not a film up there with anybody. And then in that moment, though, I promise you, I don't know if you're a spiritual man or people listening spiritual. I don't want to offend nobody, but I believe that God spoke to me in that moment and said, "Don't complain about it. Do something about it." Right.
Mm. Mhm.
So, I mean, I had this whole moment because I'm a kind of emotional girl when it comes to being, inspired by the Spirit of God. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
went,
Amen.
I went into this. Woo! Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Okay.
And
And I
the
understand it too. When you receive, the instinct is to thank the
right.
Father. Yes. So I'm with you. Go ahead.
Woman that I was dating at the time, he looked at me in the car like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Oh my God, God just spoke to me. Don't complain. You do something about it." You know better, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, like, okay. And basically I said, I'm going to start a Black film festival, right?
Mhm.
And he was like, you're going to start a festival? He was like, you just got your degree. You only made one. You haven't even finished your first short film. He was just like on one. And I was like, okay. Needless to say, that was the last time I saw him.
Mm.
We've been together for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment, I felt like, you're a dream killing person. I had some other choice thoughts, but I said person. And, I get home and I just go to work on the vision. I go to work on the vision, and he want to go to dinner, lunch, all these things. I don't have time for that. I'm working on my vision. I'll call you tomorrow, I'll call you next week. Turned into never talking to him again. So I started the vision, and then came the work. My first thought was, ooh, after I got the whole vision laid out, and now I got to get out into the streets and,
So let's pause it right there real quick. All right. So first of all, before I do this, let me do this because we have some people in the chat that's really already showing support. We have Adrian Nash in the chat, and she's asking flat out, what kind of help do you need, Miss Michelle? So right off the bat, they're coming in. We have Danique Anthony, who is giving the shouts out. Before the Billions, giving a shout out. Tony Poe is here. Hello, everybody. Loving the conversation so far. And let me also just read your stuff because Patrice didn't. When Patrice came in, you responded in the comments, but you happened to be in the private chat.
Okay.
So you typed it in the private. They didn't see it. So let me just read it for Miss Patrice. So excited and honored to be here. Thank you, Patrice, for making this connection. You're an amazing queen. So I just want to make sure you didn't miss that. She's over here blessing you, Patrice. So yeah. So back to the comment. Oh no, back to the story. So you've laid this vision. You've gotten to this point, and it's funny. Let me say this to the chat and for people who are gonna watch the stream afterwards.
Okay.
So what we're talking about here, I love making these kinds of personal connections because a couple of things have come out that Miss Michelle has said. First of all, this idea of supporting each other, especially if we're on a mission, we have a dream, we have a vision, and reaching out and being able and willing to help each other as we move forward. And really, like this came out of a kind of a rejection. It seems like people should have been more open to helping out when they were less so. And Ms. Michelle was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep on stepping. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then we see even, in a relationship with someone who didn't have the vision, I mean, come on. If that's the one, it seems like you had all these obstacles that you had to overcome, but overcome you did. You've gotten to this point where now you have the vision, and now you're saying, okay, it's time to execute. Go ahead.
That's right. So when it came down to, okay, now I see it on paper, which is, as a filmmaker, that's how every movie is created. You got to see it. You got to go through what we call pre-production on paper. And once you got all of those things in order, now you got to go and make it happen. Put the pieces in place, materialize it. So came to the point of where now it's time to figure out where I'm going to do this festival at. First of all, how am I going to raise the money?
Right.
Because every wise builder got to have, something. What we going to do with no money? But, I'm kind of crazy, though, my faith. So what I ended up doing, I was like, prayerfully. I'm a prayer warrior. It is what it is. And I just got in my car, started driving around, trying to feel because there's so many beautiful venues here in Las Vegas. I wanted to know, where is this going to be a success? I had a few places in mind, but when I literally drove past where I've been out for 9 years, I walk into the beautiful Suncoast Hotel, who I know has an in-house theater, who I know has everything I need in this building. But it came with a big price tag that I didn't have nowhere near matching in my bank account. So what had happened was I was like, well, you know what? All they can say is, here's what our price is. And then, I'm like, God, you gave me this vision. So, you got to put provision behind it. And so I'm going up in here. I'm going to see what can happen. So, and I walked into the building. I go in, I tell them what my vision is, I lay it out, and I say to them, this is what I need, this is what I want to do. They be right back. What's happening, Frank? Let me see. I don't know what just happened. There he is. Okay. I'm just waiting for Frank. Y'all, I'm waiting on Frank to come back. Oh, okay. He told me to keep talking. Okay. So I go into this building. Hey, Gail, I see you there. So I go to the hotel. I'm walking in. I'm asking questions about the cost, and I just kind of lay out to them what it is that I want to do. Okay, and they gave me a pretty hefty price tag, pretty hefty, one that I couldn't even think about affording at the time, and still can't afford it right now. If I'm being totally honest, thank God for some levels of sponsorship, but to God be the glory. He has been providing um, everything that I've needed for the past 9 years in order to make this happen. There you are, Frank. I see you back.
Yes, that is the first time that's ever happened to me, dropping live like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the chat to let me know. You keep going. I'm gonna just have the chat fill me in on what I missed. Go ahead.
Well, basically, I was just saying, Frank, when I walked into the hotel, not knowing what type of price tag I was going to be faced with.
Okay. Yes.
I wasn't tripping either, because at the end of the day, I knew God had gave me the vision. I'm like, I'm not going to get faced with the dollar sign in front of it, knowing that my bank account don't match it on no level.
That's faith. Yes, that's faith.
Not for what I had put on the paper anyway. But I just really believed that if God was bold enough to give me the vision, knowing that I would persevere and cut off all ties with people who didn't believe in what He had given me. Well, it is what it is. We got to follow through with the rest of it. That's right. So I get to the hotel, I walk in, and I lay out my vision. I tell them what I want. And honestly, they gave me a price tag that I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. It shook me. I was like, woo! But I said, okay. And I'm crazy. I was telling you in the beginning, I'm crazy. I signed the contract knowing I don't got no money. I knew it. But I signed the contract. And this was 1 year before the actual event dates that I signed for. This was in 2013, February of 2013. And I had booked the date for 2014, the first annual, to happen in April. That means I had a year and about 2 or 3 months to raise that astronomical amount of number that they gave me to cover my vision. And I was like, okay, I got a year to do this. I'm getting ready to hit the ground. I'm going in to get sponsors. Okay, fast forwarding, a year passes. Almost a year. It was November. I had no sponsors. I hadn't raised a dime at all. My little income, I was able to save probably $200-300 a month towards my vision. But that wasn't even going, that wasn't going to do nothing.
Yeah, wasn't going to put a dent in it.
Right. So fast forwarding, I in November, a young I call her a young lady. She's deceased at this point, but a lady by the name of Miss Pretty. Sarah Ann Knight Pretty. She was the owner of what is known here in Las Vegas as the Moulin Rouge. She was the first Black owner of the Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
She watched me grow up as a child. She invited me to come to the NAACP Awards with her. I go sit with her at the NAACP Awards. Now, this is something I hadn't done before, so for her just to reach out of the blue and invite me was kind of bizarre to me. But again, when God has called you to do something, He started lining stuff up. You don't even know why you're being set up for where you're getting ready to go. You don't even know.
So true.
So I ended up going to this NAACP Awards with her. Funny thing is, I never get sick. I was sick that night, wrapped up, scarred, bones aching, and everything. I never get sick. That was another sign that I need to be there. I get to the NAACP Awards, and they're holding it at the same hotel where I had already went in there and signed this astronomical contract. So I'm sitting in this banquet. It's like 900 Black people, 10 white people. Okay. Now I'm observant, filmmakers are. So I'm looking around the room and I'm like, my question to Miss Sarah Ann Knight, who invited me, I'm like, who are those people? Why are they here? I mean, this is the NAACP for colored people. Who are they? And she says, I think that's the owner of the hotel, Mr. Boyd, Sam Boyd. Now, if you know that name, you know that Sam Boyd, they own like 8 or 9 hotels here in Las Vegas. They own the Sam Boyd Stadium, and they own a lot here as it relates to casinos and hotels and things. So immediately prior to that, like I told you, I had been shopping around for sponsorships to cover the cost of this festival, and nobody had written the checks. Okay, so I didn't have the money, but I see them sitting there, and she says she already knew what I was working on. She didn't know that I hadn't raised the money though. Mm-hmm. Fast forwarding, I look over and she's looking at me, and it was an unspoken communication type of thing. You better go talk to him, So, you can't be afraid when you need something and the person that has it is in the room. You can't be afraid to go and tell them what you need. The worst thing that happen is no. And then my next follow-up question would be why? You know what I'm saying? Why are you saying no?
Miss Michelle is teaching y'all in this chat. I want y'all to know that here. That's a few nuggets he done dropped so far. Go ahead.
So I waited until the moment, you got to be led though. You can't do things out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because then you can overstep your boundaries and you can forfeit your blessing. So you gotta be led, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So I waited. Come to find out, he was the keynote speaker for the NAACP event that he was sponsoring. Okay, so the owner of the property, the whole casino, and 9 or 10 others in the city was the keynote speaker, and I was in the room. I had a cold. I never go to that type of event, but I was in the room, so there was a reason that I was in the room. And
real quick too, and I'm gonna just jump in because Adrian has a question here. NAACP Awards, was that at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium that year? She's asking.
It was here in Las Vegas at the Suncoast Hotel.
Okay.
The same hotel where my event is currently hosted and has been for the past 9 years.
Okay. All right. There you go, Adrian. We got your answer. All right, go ahead.
So
he's in the room. It's like, wow.
He's the speaker. He mounts the stage, and then in a nutshell, his whole speech was about how, his dad came to Nevada, bought a piece of land for a nickel. They built on the nickel, and now they own all of these casinos, and the thing that has gotten them to be so successful is giving back to the community and to minority groups and all of that. I heard was they give back. They give back. They give back. And I was going, oh, really? Well, I got a contract that I need you to, instead of me having to figure out how I'm going to pay for it, I have a contract in your house that I need to have fulfilled before April. It was November, and when he finished talking, all I had was a napkin and a pen. I was writing down some of the things that he had said, and I just made my way over to the table when he sat down, and I introduced myself, properly and respectfully. And he said, "Oh, you founder of the Black? I never heard of that." I said, "It's because it hasn't happened yet. explained to him. And then he says, "Oh, well, that's so nice." And I said, "Well, the reason that I wanted you to know about it is because I have signed a contract to hold the first annual here in this building that you are the owner of." And I said to him, "But I don't have the money to fulfill that contract, and I need your help."
Mm.
He said, he handed me a card. He told his wife, who was sitting next to him, turn it over and put my direct email on the back of it so she can email me information about it so I can then talk to her about this at a later date. I was like, "That's fine with me." So she wrote down the email to get directly to him. And he told me to CC the other emails that are on the front of that card, which are his team. And I did it. I did it. So fast forwarding, I did it immediately. Like I went home and did it that night.
Yes.
But then, Thanksgiving was coming up, holiday season, Christmas was coming up, New Year's coming. I didn't hear anything back. But again, when you are persevering towards something that God gave you and that is, and it's, you're gonna face all kind of mountains, all kind of stuff that's gonna tell you, turn around, go back. You ain't gonna never get over this. Oh, here come another problem. Here come another problem and another problem. You gotta keep going. You can't just quit because problems show up. Those problems are preparing you for your journey. Straight up. It's strengthening you for your journey. Like if you can't.
That's 2 back-to-back she just dropped, y'all. Okay, she in here testifying. Go ahead.
If you live 10 pounds today, you keep going, you're gonna eventually increase. I'm just saying, you be able to lift a whole lot of weight. Next thing you know, you buff. So that's kind of what happened. The pitfalls and the journey, the everything, all the obstacles kept showing up. They never responded back. I couldn't get in touch. So you know what I did? I put on me a bad suit. I put on some red lipstick because I'm real cute when I put on my red lipstick. I feel that.
Okay, so you know what you was doing. We know that.
That chocolate melanin. I'm serious. Put a suit on, put me a little briefcase together, and I went to the corporate office of Boyd Gaming right here in Las Vegas. And I walked up in there like I had an appointment with the charge. Okay. I just walked up in there. The security man at the elevator at the bottom was like, "Do you have an appointment?" "Yes, Mr. Boyd is expecting me." "Oh, Sam Boyd." He let me up. I'm telling you, I just walked in. I get to the top floor to the corporate office. I walk in. The receptionist is looking at me like with a deer with headlights because she was like, "Can I help you?" And I said I have an appointment with Mr. Sam Boyd. She was like, "Okay, can give me a moment." So she gets up, she walks down the hallway. I'm looking at her. And this one black man poked his head out of the door and he saw me standing at the front desk. And he looked at me like, "Oh my God," like he had seen a ghost. Now I don't know what's going on. I'm just observing everything that's happening in the room. And so the young lady comes back and she goes into his office. And then she comes back out and she says, "Mr. Boyd, we'll be with you in just a moment. Can you have a seat?" So I was like, "Okay." She says, "Is your name Miss Michelle?" And I said, "Yes." I'm tripping now because how you know my name? I've never been up here before. I had to Google the address. Like, how do you know my name? That's a big leap. So and you run the Las Vegas Black Film Festival, right? And I said, "Well, yeah." She said, "Well, just have a seat. We'll be with you in just a minute." So I sit down. The black man who peeked out of the room, he ends up walking out and coming up to the front. And basically he said, "Tomorrow, can you meet me at the Suncoast Hotel? We're going to have a meeting with the administration over there." I was like, "Okay, what is the meeting going to be about though?" And basically he was just like, he said, "It's about your festival. And so I got your email and we'll meet you over there and we'll follow up there and we'll get everything squared away." So fine with me. I don't know what's happening. So later, this is what happened. He calls me. He says, "I'm on my way. Meet you at the Suncoast Hotel." I meet him at the bottom of the escalator, going up to the administration office. And his only conversation to me was, "We got your email back in November and Mr. Boyd put me on this." He said, "But quite frankly, you asked for more than our yearly advertising budget for the whole hotel." So he He was like, "You're not gonna get it, but I'm just letting you know before we even get in here that so you can be prepared." That's what he said to me. I was like, okay.
You're doing a lot of okay. You just going with the flow so far. You just seeing where the rabbit hole take.
So what I said back to him, Frank, was, I'm not asking you for. I didn't ask for the advertising budget. I don't need y'all to advertise nothing for me. You can keep your budget intact. I'm only asking for the space. I got the rest covered. And he was like, "Well, I hear you. I'm just letting you know how these people work." And I said to him, "Well, I'm gonna show you how my God works. How about that?" And we just walked right on in the office, and he looking at me all sideways. I'm like, "Bro, you supposed to be on my side, and you tripping, right?" Fast forwarding, we get inside of the building. The two ladies, and I'm only speaking on race because it was playing a factor in this whole story. So the two ladies that were sitting in there who run the whole hotel, they write, who can do what, how they gonna do. They tell you what it's gonna cost, all of that. And they had already seen me year before, knowing that I had that. I'm going to tell you the amount. It was a $50,000 contract, right?
Goodness gracious.
They knew I had that contract, and they were like, "Hi," So they don't know why I'm there. They don't know why I'm represented by corporate either. That was God lining some stuff up for me, because he wasn't even for me, but God made him be a footstool for me in the presence of my enemy. God was preparing a table for me in the presence of my enemy, because he didn't even know why he was there as corporate representation. His presence alone intimidated the people in the building who had given me a $50,000 contract. He didn't say a word the entire meeting. His presence changed everything. So the email that I had sent him, sent Mr. Boyd, that he got CC'd on back in November, said, "I just need a zero balance. All I need is space, free of charge, because I don't have $50,000 to pay for this festival that I've created. I don't have it." That's all I asked for. So when we go in the room, I told you, he said that was more than their yearly advertising budget.
Right.
I wasn't asking for the advertising budget. I was asking for the space. So he was out of pocket with whatever he was thinking and saying. So fast forward, we're sitting in the meeting, and the ladies are sitting there tapping their pens like nervous. You can see them tapping their pens, and they biting on, trying to figure out, this lady is in here. She got corporate representation. And I said to them straight up, "Listen, I'm not asking for your advertising budget. What I'm asking for is the space. I just need this space. And I need it at the $0 price that I asked for, because this is my first time, and I said to them, listen, I'm going to bring people here. They're going to come. And I said, my activities are going to keep them in your hotel. You're going to make more money than I'm going to. I'm not making nothing on this. You're going to make money, because the people coming to your hotel and my events are going to keep them in your hotel. They're going to get here. They're going to sleep here. They're going to eat here. They're going to do everything. You're going to get paid for that beyond anything I could have paid you anyway." And the ladies are sitting there like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And they were like, so. And I said, if you guys grant me this opportunity and be a sponsor, so to speak, this year, I said, if it don't work out like I'm telling you, then this will be my first and one and out. That's it. You would have donated something to somebody in the Black community. But if it is successful, then we're going to have a marriage, and I'm going to be here until God says something different. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. And the Black man who came with me from corporate was looking at me like I'm crazy when they said, "Okay, well, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it." So I got the contract, and I got the location. The first annual went off with 600 plus people in attendance. And now we're 9 years in.
Wow. And that's how, what an amazing story. And like I said, testimony really of your faith in the vision that God gave you. You knew where it was. You saw it all the way through, and you didn't know how it was going to happen. And then
I don't even have to book dates now. Every year, when I conclude, they go, "What dates? We got you down for these dates for next year." They do that every single year, every year, for 9 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 years. They charge me for the food. I've added food to the festival now. I feed everybody soul food. All you get is soul food.
I mean, I guess
Pay
you
for
can
the food.
you got to pay for something, right? I guess. That's so
We pay for the
amazing.
food. We pay for the food. God is good. God is
Yes, he
good.
is. Yes, he is. I'm reading. Let me read some stuff in the chat here of what people are saying as you were telling your story. Let's see. Yeah, it's like, okay, so you see the one up here, awesome pitch. Adrian is sending you cheers. Tony Poe is, you are giving me such hope and inspiration right now.
We're happy about that.
And rightfully so. It's first of all, again, it's the belief in the power of our Father, who could give you something and you know it came from him. Then you got to go when you don't even see how things are gonna actually happen. You just got to be obedient.
Right.
But then to see how, I mean, this is just an amazing story that, I mean, this is better than life. I couldn't make this up. You going in truly, and like you're saying, and even professing, in your own way. You didn't go in there preaching, but you went in there still believing and professing it.
Mm-hmm.
And people looking at you all kind of way, and look what happened. I guess what I want to say is because I want to ask you about this year's festival. Before we do that, and I can bring up some stuff if you want. I would like for you to let me know about some of the highlights of past festivals, things that come to mind that you want to talk about. Because right now, for our chat and for the people who are will be watching this, so far we have just talked about festival, and for many people, they haven't actually ever been to a Black film festival. Or yours, and you do yours with your own flavor. So let's talk about some of the highlights. Let's talk about some of the things that have happened before we get into this year's festival.
Okay. So when I first started the festival, like you said, I put my own flair on it, my own personality and that type of thing. And keeping in line with the energy that we started with. Like whenever you have a vision to do things the way God give it to you and do it your way, people will always have something to say. You got to prepare for that, and you can't let that be a deterrent. So when I first started the festival, I decided I don't want a red carpet. It's a red carpet event, but I don't want the carpet to be red. Everybody's carpet is red. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted my carpet to be orange because that happens to be my favorite color. And so I decided it's going to be an orange carpet night. And the color orange actually means, celebration, freedom, happiness, and all of these things. It represents my personality. It represents that I love. That's my favorite color. It represents, the reason I wanted to do this festival and everything. So the carpet is orange, okay? Carpet is orange. So, but then it's crazy. I only brought that up because there's so many people. It's like, orange?
Right. I would have been one of those. I would have been one. I would have asked you. Orange.
But now people come from around the world and walk on that orange carpet, okay? and they love being celebrated and everything that it represents. And it's like no other event in the world. Our carpet is orange. So that's one of the signature night events that happens. And then because I come from in front of the camera and behind the camera, my whole thing, I don't want to just celebrate the people that make movies. I want to celebrate the people that are in the movies that, that help us as producers bring them to life. So I threw in a big event that I created for our actors. It is called the Actors Showdown. So basically what that is because I'm from Vegas and all of that, we had, Vegas is like known for the boxing capital, all the big boxing events and whatever happen here. So I thought the actors are duking it out in the stage with monologue. So this vision came, and I called my actors competition during the festival the Actors Showdown, and it happens in a boxing ring. And so that's one of our highlight events. It's like when I tell you people come from around the world to compete in that competition, it's like an idol for actors. It's such a big thing. We've had winners from Dallas, winners from New York, winners from everywhere just coming to be a part of this competition. And the prize is a lead role in their own movie, which is the premiere movie for the year to follow, a movie that I write and produce personally for the winner of the Actor Showdown. So that's something that's unique to our festival. We have
wait.
Of that.
Don't wait, pivot, because this is special. This is special. So I don't pivot away from it yet, because this, like you said, I don't want you to because you're very humble. I don't want you to bury this one. Actor Showdown, because you mentioned boxing ring. So give us just a little bit of an idea, and you don't have to break it all the way down. But for our people who never, seen it and maybe want to attend, like, talk about just a little bit of what is the makeup of the act. What do they do actually?
So the Actor Showdown, we erect a boxing ring stage, and the actors are required to have a 3-minute monologue. Two 3-minute monologues. To which they will perform in the ring in front of a panel of judges. And basically, like, let's say we never go over 20 contestants. The first monologue the judges are brutal too. This is one of those, like, it's like a combination of like Showdown at the Apollo type, American Idol, but it's for actors in the ring. So
come on, guys.
Either you bring it and you get a standing ovation in this ballroom, or you don't bring it in. They be like, get out of here.
Whoa, it's brutal.
But it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Oh, I believe it. And what I was going to ask is, so your actors have to come ready. Do you have a screening process, or is it like the first 20, or do you select the 20 that first 20?
Yeah, because we always, so you think you can act? Well, you better bring it. And it's the first to sign up, and that's it. And we don't select them, because if we select them, then we know pretty much that everybody in there. We just listen. If you think you got it, sign up, bring it. We just tell you the rules. You got to have your 2 3-minute monologues, and you only need 2 in case you get to the second round, because it's really brutal. Like 20 contestants. The first round, everybody does their monologues, 3 minutes or less. If you go 3 minutes and 1 second, you get disqualified. Forget about it.
Done.
Right. Okay. So 3 minutes or less, right? And then when that happens, the first round, 10 people are gone, knocked out. 10 people, first round. So if you are so blessed and so talented to make it to the second round, well, then, that's when you need to pull out your second monologue. And then the second round, we knock off the next 8 people. Boom. Then it's down to the final 2. When you get to the third round, those final 2 have to either have a third monologue that is more dope than the last 2 that they did to get to this round, or incorporate some of the critiques that the panel of judges, who are all comprised of directors, award-winning actors, and what have you, on the panel that do the judging. When we score each actor, we give them critiques on their monologues, basically to say, hey, like let's say there was a piece where somebody should have brought a tear, but they were like trying to squint so hard and nothing came out.
Right.
We let them know, hey, maybe if you would have actually been able to get some water to roll out of your eye, I would have given you a higher score, but I'm gonna give you this score because let's say you make it to the third round and you decide you're gonna bring back one of your monologues and do it better so you can get a better score for the final round. You better bring a tear out your eye.
You better incorporate those reviews and critiques.
So, and that's how we pick our winners. And we're the last man standing is the winner. If there's a tie between the 2, like, because both of them brought it, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously they're both dope if they make it to the third round.
Yes.
If there's a tie, we go to this thing called the improvisational round. They pull cards or roll a dice, like Vegas style, and there's a genre, and a theme attached to it. And we roll the dice, and whoever is the first person to roll the dice, the number on the dice, gets to start the improvisational round.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of hard there, because you got to be quick with it and you got to
It's
be,
improv. Yes.
yeah.
You have to have talent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the last man standing will win the Actors Showdown and be the champion, heavyweight champion, Actors Showdown.
So you just chat. Come on, throw a one in the chat if you are liking what you're hearing right now about this Actors Showdown. Talk about, this is what I'm talking about here, where you can have a film festival and it can be about watching the films, but then what else can you do that's exciting, that
Yeah.
promotes the talent, that
Yeah.
brings out the best in people? I mean, these people have to come ready. I mean,
They have-
is anybody else doing this? I mean, look at what you're doing. This is nice.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And I always tell people, can't nobody do it like Las Vegas, and it's a true statement, because not only do we do all of those things, not only for people in front of the camera, because we have master classes where we teach pre-production and we bring in entertainment lawyers to teach our independents what kind of contracts they should sign and what kind they should run from. We bring in expert cinematographers who teach people how to make bomb movies with an iPhone or a $1,000 camera or whatever. Make it, and we give you the tools that you need at our festival, where a lot of festivals you just get herded in, you get to listen to a celebrity talk, and then you get herded out to the next thing, and they done made $10,000 on the workshop, and you're like, hold on, I had a few questions, wait a minute, well, what
See, you're into now what we do. So I'm going to bring up your website right here. You see it right here. And so if there's anything you want me to go to here while you're talking about it, because right now, Miss Michelle is actually bringing up features of what, of course, you will see at this year's film festival on April 21st to the 24th. A festival that I will be attending, Patrice will be attending, and we are inviting all of you to join us. I mean, this sounds like, don't just come to meet me or Patrice, come to meet Miss Michelle and what's going on with this festival, just the actor showcase. I have Tony Poe here jumping up real quick. I definitely want to attend this,
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, you let me know if you want to go anywhere on the site.
You know what? Scroll down on the front of the page there.
Okay.
Miss Amethyst had a question about when is the next showdown.
Okay.
I'm guessing she's asking because she want to compete. Click on right there. Click on that
right here. Okay.
And take you there. So Miss Amethyst, that's when the next showdown is, and you'll be able to register and compete if you so desire.
Come on, Miss Amethyst.
And you see all of the people pictured in that. I think if you click on that picture, it'll blow up, I think.
Let's see, with this one?
Yes.
Okay. No, I wish I could make it bigger.
Yeah, all of the people that are featured on there, there's only 8 people in the world who hold that title. Actors Showdown.
Yes, one for every year you've had it, right?
You know what? Actually, there's only 7 because one of the young ladies there, her name is Promise Marks. She's a 2-time winner.
See, let me read this. She had past winners.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Kayla, go ahead. You can read them.
Yes, Kayla Williams, Terrence Washington, Lester Green, Brian Moore, 2017, Promise Marks, 2018. Is this Mai Monet? Or Mimi? May. May Monet, 2019. Promise Marks came back and took it back in 2020. And then Jeremy Settles in 2021.
Yes. And so those people are from everywhere, like Dallas, Texas, Seattle, Washington, we see Los Angeles, California, New York. Promise is in Arizona. She came back twice, took the title. In 2018, she slam dunked Slade, and her feature film was titled Crystal, the one I produced for her. And you guys can see that on my YouTube page, her movie that I wrote, produced, and directed that stars Promise Marks, our 2-time winner. And then 19? Yeah, 20, when did she win? 2018. And then in 2019, she came back to defend her title. But Whitney Monet from Dallas, Texas came through here. And really Promise beat herself. I want to say, in all honesty, Mimi wasn't the dopest, She was the one who followed all of the rules. Promise beat herself that year. She went overtime, a little bit overtime. And we were like, girl, as dope as you are, we know you're the returning champion. You got to follow the rules, you know. So
yes.
And so she came back 20 with a vengeance. She was like, oh no. So she came back 2020 and took her title back. And she is the star of this year's movie because Jeremy Settles, who won last year, because of this platform, Jeremy went on and got him a big gig down at Warner Brothers somewhere, and he was not available. What? We were filming this movie that would have been his lead role. So we called back our two-time champion and said, hey, you know, we need you to be lead in this movie because our current winner, you know, even though that's a win for our festival, because, you know, from our platform, somebody who was producing the movie at Warner picked him up and said, hey, I saw you, Las Vegas Black Film Festival, hey, you know, and he happened to be working during the time we were filming the movie, and I don't wait. I got to make a movie. He can still redeem his prize, when he, you know. But
so then let me do this then, because you're referencing your film, and it may not necessarily be 100% clear for our chat what you're talking about when you say your movie, and when that's generally a part of every year's festival. It's definitely a part of this year's festival.
You can click on the trailer. Yeah.
Okay, so let me do this. So I'm gonna go back to the home page. And do you want me to click on the trailer? Like you let me know what you want me to do here.
Go all the way down. You'll see it. It's at the bottom. Go to the bottom.
Okay. Right, so should I click on it, or?
Sure, you can blow it up. They can see the trailer. It's just a quick trailer.
Okay, then let me do this. I'll play it. Go full screen with it. Is this it? All right, and then I'll start it back over. And so everybody, this is a trailer for the is this the opening night film?
No, this is the premiere movie night on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
The premiere film by Miss Michelle. Let's see. Can you all hear this?
Sometimes we fight, sometimes we're messy, but at the end of the day, you best believe that we are family. No matter what's going on, we gon' work it out. We gon' love one another through it. That's what it's all about. Kinfolk, yeah, we all we got. Kinfolk, we all we got. Kinfolk, we all we got. Kinfolk, we all we got.
Okay, were you able to hear that?
Yeah.
So I'm getting like some soul food vibes, but with like a comedy thing with it as well. You want to talk a little bit about what we can expect when we check it out?
Yeah, this movie right here is just about a big family that has, you know, all families got a lot of going on. At the end of the day, you know, we're kinfolk and we all we got. So I thought if I did a movie that shows the different personalities, how our families are comprised of branches on a tree that grow in all kind of different directions, but at the end of the day, we rooted and grounded as one. You know what I mean? And no, that's not Patrice singing, but that is, a matter of fact, that is the star, Miss Promise Mark. She is a vocalist. She actually wrote and produced that song. That is now the title song for the movie that she's starring in. Listen, I try to showcase folks, if you got that kind of talent, like, hey, bring it on. Let's put it out. But I tell you, yes, Promise is very gifted. Yes, you'll get a chance to meet her. You come on. Yeah, OG knows. You know that. Miss Patrice. Yes, she is. She is so talented. And she actually wrote and produced that song. I told her, hey, you know, she's like, can I do this? Yeah, you can do it, girl. You know, I don't say no to talent. I'm like, yes, let's bring it. Let's make it happen.
Okay. All right. So the premiere film is just one. We've covered two things now, because there's some other things that you got going on that's crazy exciting.
Yes.
as well. So let us know what else should we know about that's gonna go down at your festival this year?
In April this year. So it's
Mhm.
happening the 21st through
Mhm.
the 24th.
Mhm.
And now opening night,
Opening night.
our whole theme this year. Every year, Patrice knows, every year we do this whole theme, for the whole weekend. We pick a color and we come up with this
Now
theme.
everybody look at Miss Michelle and guess what the color is this year.
Yeah.
There you go, Miss Michelle. And see, she's doing this because this has to do with the first night. Make sure not only that you wear the color, which we can all guess is what, Miss Michelle?
Color emerald green, baby. Emerald green.
Emerald green. But not only that now, but as we lead into what happens on the first night, you got to make sure that you dress right. You dress to impress. Go ahead, let us know why.
So opening night, I partnered with a company, a group of people out of Dallas, Texas. They have a television show called Flaunt It. Okay, Golden Touch Academy. Cheryl Friday, her daughter, Quashay Williams created this show. I met them and just enjoyed everything that they do. You know what I'm saying? And so I invited them to come to Las Vegas with their Flaunt It TV show, because every year we do a fashion show anyway. I wanted to take it to another level this year. So they're coming. If you've ever been to like the Bonner Brothers type hair show when they have all this wild, crazy stuff going on.
I haven't, but hey, do they do that in Vegas? Maybe I'll check one out. I don't know.
They're bringing it this year to the Suncoast Hotel opening night. We call the opening night like a storm. How Dorothy and the Land of Oz ended up in the Land of Oz. The tornado brought them there. We're kicking off the festival with a storm, and we call it's our opening night fashion show.
Okay.
Hence the theme for the weekend: Welcome to the Emerald City. We chose green. Our theme is Welcome to the Emerald City, and you don't have to wear green if that's just not your color. You're like, I ain't wearing no green. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's all good. I got green lipstick on today. Green, the red.
I mean, I might wear black and then throw a little green. Yeah, exactly.
So we open night with a beautiful fashion show. And like I said, we're coming through like a storm because we're going to showcase, and it's supposed to be the inspiration for how you should try to represent yourself on the carpet. Now, Patrice knows. If you look back at some of our pictures, Frank, you'll be able to see Patrice showed up on the carpet, glamorous, honey. She came. She knew what it was. We showed up. We got beautiful pictures and stuff together on the orange carpet from premiere night, which is on Friday night, the next day, second day of our festival. That is the night that I premiere the movie that I have produced for our Showdown winner. And that is an upscale night. That's the night you need to put in your mind that I'm going somewhere like the Oscars, like I'm going somewhere like, the Emmys. Like I'm really turning up. That's what we do on Friday night. Yeah, we do that on Friday night. Tuxedos and gowns, honey. We be sitting in the movie theater with tuxedos and gowns. Because to follow that is an upscale after party where we get to, mix and mingle, eat some good food, talk to each other, network. But we're doing it on a level that is just ballroom first class. And representing our melanin popping skin.
Yes.
Representing, supporting one another and doing it in a big way, right after the premiere. That's on Friday night.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, that's a long day, but it's a fun day. So Saturday, we in line with our theme. You know how when Dorothy and the Tin Man Scarecrow line was on the yellow brick road, they were looking for whiz, they were looking for brain, heart, and courage, right? So in line with our theme for this year's festival, when you come to the workshops, which are geared towards your physical, your mental, and your skill set. In the morning, I have my personal trainer who's coming, who's doing a thing called Fit for Film. So we want people to bring their workout clothes or something they're comfortable in. Because starting that morning from 8 o'clock until 9:30 or something like that, we're gonna be working out. I'm talking planks and sit-ups and all that kind of stuff. We give away cash to people who can hold the longest plank, people who can hula hoop the longest, all kinds of stuff. It's so fun. This
is at a film festival. Nice. Keep going.
It's called Fit for Film. And my personal trainer, y'all look him up on Facebook. He goes by Mr. 63. His name is Juan Frazier. That's Juan Frazier.
Mhm.
He is 63 years old. The man is rocking a 12-pack abs. Okay. Yeah, he's my personal trainer. And I've been working out with him now for a year. I've lost 40 pounds. I'm finna floss so hard on this carpet this year. Y'all ain't ready for the girls.
What's up? Hey, listen, if y'all come to compete, y'all make sure you come to compete because Miss Michelle is not going to play with y'all this year.
I ain't laying down, I'm trying to tell you. So we start with the Fit for Film with my trainer. He's coming in.
Hold on, real quick. Miss Amethyst says she's got a 50-second plank here now. So
tell her she's gonna have to have at least 3 minutes because last year
okay.
You need 3 minutes, girl, to take the championship title.
Work on it then. That's goals. Goals, as we say.
That's why you want that money. We gotta hold it for 3 minutes or more. It's so much fun though. We start like that in the morning, so people get your blood flowing, you know, get your energy going. Saturday is T-shirt day, so you have time. And I was saying earlier, nobody can do it like Las Vegas because in Vegas, the hotel where you're staying in your room, the theaters, all of the workshops and all that, the food, dining, everything is in the same building. All of it. Like other festivals around the world, I don't care where you go. You got to stay at the hotel down 3 miles that way. The theaters is 4 miles that way.
Yes.
The host hotel is 10 miles that way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to have rental car, Uber, all these things. If you want to go eat, we feed you and everything at our festival. Nobody does it like Las Vegas Black Film Festival. That's
listen to her now, and she speaks. She's not just talking. I have been to with my first film. I've been to all kinds of film festivals, and she's speaking facts right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have a rental car or Uber. And if some of the locations are within a mile, then they say, oh, you can walk, you better bring your tennis shoes, right?
Right.
It's the fact. But here, nobody can do it like Las Vegas. The theater, the hotel room where your clothes are packed and where you just go right upstairs, go change clothes, come right back downstairs, go to the theater right here. You can eat, fine dining. If you just want to grab a quick snack or some breakfast, we got all the cafes. If you want to gamble a little bit because you in Vegas, the slot machines are right there. I mean, nobody can do it like Las Vegas. Nobody. And if you want to shop, we are conveniently located right across the street from one of the luxurious, beautiful mall. Like if you forgot your little nylons or your little lip gloss or whatever, Ross Department. I mean, it's a bunch of stores. It's just walk right across the street. We are fabulously located. I'm telling you, when God set your girl up, he set your girl all the way up. Okay?
Yeah. Capital U, capital P set you up.
So nobody can do it like we do it in Las Vegas. And we feed you. Okay. Soul food. You tell me what festival you've been to where food was included in the price that you paid for your pass. Tell me.
Not one.
Nobody can do it like Las Vegas, which is why we have people that have been, and even if they produce a film or not, they come back to Las Vegas just to hang out with your girl and with our family. Because once you come to Vegas, family. You
know what? Thank you for heading in that direction. Before you do, because I want you to talk about that. No. You know what? Let's do this now. Talk about this part of it. We can talk about the events, and you've mentioned some of them, not all just yet, but this part, the connection, people coming back, and just this notion of family. Talk a little bit about what you've experienced with your festival over the years.
Man, it's been they're tear jerkers, I'm telling you. And my lashes ain't glued on tight enough for me to get all deep with it, but I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
It's just, testimony after testimony, year after year for 9 years now. People that have come, whether they produce a film the next year or not, I'm looking around I'm like, I didn't know you had a movie. And they're like, no, I didn't. I just wanted to come back and hang out with y'all because I love this festival. And it happens every single year. And those people bring people with them who don't even care about producing the movie, just to come to Vegas to hang out with us because of the love that we show, because once you come to Las Vegas Black Film Festival, you are family. I don't forget your name. I don't forget your movie. I don't forget who came because I'm very personal with with our people, and I really do genuinely care that you care enough to come and support what we're doing here. So you family when you come here. It's just what it is, and
Amen.
you come back year after year. I mean, there's some things that have happened at our festival that just, I mean, I'm there, of course, to see it, but when other people see it and they're talking about it, they're like, they want other people to come and see what they saw the last time they came. You know, come back. And God never ceases to fail. Stuff just happens over and over. Two things that stand out in my mind just really readily in this moment, which have been like the smoking gun behind my energy to just keep going no matter what, you know, even when I face bigger mountains than the ones I started out facing, you know what I mean? Because the more you grow, the bigger the obstacles, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple of producers, like there was this one year, this young man sent a movie in, and he got selected and he got nominated or what have you. And then and he submitted early on, like let's say we opened up submissions like right in April, right after the last one. He submitted right away. But then in the course of that time, he had a car accident, and the doctors were telling him he was paralyzed, he wasn't gonna be able to walk no more, whatever. And he was so excited about coming to the festival. His parents actually came with him. He was in a wheelchair when he came that following April. And this right here messed me up, because what happened, we sitting in the theater, in the ballroom, it's award day. I know he's going to get an award, and I'm sitting there feeling some kind of way because, you know, oh my God, I'm so happy that he won and he's here, and you know, he got more than a nomination. He got the win, and oh my God, he's in a wheelchair. He still made it. The moment that they called his name, the boy stood up from his wheelchair. He held on to the chairs of the audience and made his way. He made his way to the stage, okay? And they helped him up the stairs, and he held on to the podium. His parents were just bawling, right? Because, okay, his parents were bawling because they were like, he hadn't walked. He hadn't gotten up. But the inspiration behind somebody believing in his ability to just make a movie gave him the energy he needed. He got up out of that chair. He held on to everybody on his way up to the stage, but he made it. That right there. And then he just said, you know, I can't even remember everything he said when he got up there, because I was just floored watching his parents back there bawling. And they spoke after he got up there to say, this whole thing, the energy in this room, love, the support caused my son to have the courage to hold himself up and to get up and walk up to the stage. That right there did it for me. And there's other things that happened, but that right there messed your girl up.
Yes.
You know, it messed me up. But moments like that have happened over and over again.
Amazing.
You know what I'm saying? One other thing I wanted to say was there was a young man who submitted a film. A friend of his was the reason that he got into making movies to begin with. And 2 years prior to that, he had come to the festival a couple of times with his friend. His friend went through a hard time and was dealing with some other things and ended up jumping off a bridge in California and committing suicide.
Whoa.
This guy calls me on the phone and he says, oh my God, did you hear about it on the news? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know him other than him coming to the festival. I don't know him outside of that. And to this day, I don't know why he picked up the phone to call me, to tell me that, but he did. But when he called me, again, sometimes all the time, you got to be just led by the Spirit of God, seriously. He called me and told me about it. And then he followed up by saying, you know, and I'm done. I ain't never making another movie again, you know. And so I said this without thinking, but I'm glad I didn't think. I'm glad that I just said what it was, because I found out later I was being led by the Spirit of God. What I said to him, and some people might be shocked at what I said to him, but I'm going to tell you, I said, so what you going to do? You going to jump off the bridge behind him with all of God's gifts in you? You know, you know what I mean? Or are you going to, you know, honor your friend's life? He's the one who got you involved with making movies to begin with, telling your stories. Tell his story. help other people that may be suffering from depression to that level. Why would you jump? Either you're gonna jump behind him, or you're gonna go ahead and do what God has given you to do. But don't call me with that foolishness, is what I said to him, because I don't do suicide. I'm about life. So, and I hung up the phone because I don't do that. Well, fast forwarding, at that same banquet where the young man got out of the wheelchair, this young man who also won for a written script that he did, he got up on the stage. He got up on the stage and he said, Miss Michelle saved my life and she don't even know it. I didn't know what he was about to say because I didn't know how I say, what you talking about? And then he told that whole story that I just said to you. And he said, if she would have gotten a pity party with me, and he said, I don't know what I would have done. He said, but because she just said what she said, like, are you going to go jump behind him?
Mm-hmm.
Or you going to do what God have given you to do? Don't call me with this foolishness. And then she hung up in my face. And that was it. He said, I'm here and I won. And he just went on and it came down. At this point, ain't no reason to be even worried about a lash or a lipstick because the whole ballroom, everybody in the ballroom, it was just one of those moments.
Yes.
Those are the kinds of things that happens at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival because we don't, like I said, it's family. Yes. We know about that whole, we show up in our glitz and glam, we walk on the carpet and we do all of that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's about supporting one another. It's about uplifting one another. It's about building one another. It's about how can I help you succeed? Because that's who I am. Mm-hmm. And I demand that every one of my team members either in the same spirit or get gone. Seriously. And I have no problem dismissing nobody on my team who don't function like that, with that kind of heart.
Listen, chat. See, and this is the part when you talk about this mission, this vision that God has put you on, and I'm hearing and chat. Listen, I did get a chance to talk with Miss Michelle about some of these things, but some of this stuff is hitting me just like it's hitting you now with what's going on. I know about some other awesome things, and I'm actually ask her about a couple of them. But this kind of thing here is when we say, in a way, when we can, like, for example, today is the Oscars, right? And right. And we in the public, in the general public, we kind of talk about things and we understand Hollywood to be what it is. And we get these stories constantly of sort of what you maybe alluded to with maybe stars not necessarily being connected, the humanity not being emphasized in people. It's all about, and it is, the craft is definitely important. But they strictly limited to, the squabbles about best actor, best actress, who won, who didn't, and these things are a part of it. But when you really get down to the core and the foundation of what we're doing, to see Miss Michelle actually not make just a movie about it, which is what I would do. I'm a filmmaker. I make a movie and be like, hey, let's get out there and do, and we can be kumbaya. Let's watch the movie. We learn from the movie. But to create an event that is centered on that, from its foundation, and then to see the way that vision then takes hold and how everybody, this person is the actual leader of the event and it springs from her. And then we see how it just takes hold. And everybody contributes and it grows from there. Yeah. This is leadership. This is visionary leadership. And I'm just blessed to be even able to hear these stories because come on, everybody here knows the way we think about it in terms of film festivals. I'll get a chance to show my movie, and am I going to win? And am I going to get distribution? And my actor's going to win? And am I going to be able to strut in front of everybody and give my acceptance speech? And no, I mean, that's, that comes with it, but no.
That's not all. Yeah.
That's not what about. Yeah.
That's for us in Vegas. That's the bottom, because every filmmaker that comes here, whether you win or not, you feel like you won. because you did. That's how we see it. Anybody who has the nerve and the grit to start something that we put on paper, like we started this conversation, and then have the nerve and the grit and the energy to say, you know what? Because they face obstacles just like I faced with building this platform, but they finished it. Listen, I'm gonna celebrate you, whether you win an award or whatever. We celebrate you. You know, imagine, have you ever, Frank, gone to a festival where, and I've submitted my films to a lot of festivals, got in, and then but I'm the founder. I personally watch every single film. We got 191 films this year, and I watched all of them. And when the producers come to Las Vegas, I introduce myself to them. I talk to them about the content of their films because I watched it and I engaged and I know what their stories were about, and you know, whatever, because I care. You know, it's nothing more than that, because when you care about something, you make yourself available to actually care. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just saying I care, so now submit to my festival so I can make something. You know what I mean? No.
Absolutely. Let's do then. Let's pivot as one example, if you can talk about it, because I'm not sure if you can, or if I feel like you can. Okay. But as an example of what you mentioned, this takes me to a story that you told me about how, you know, like you guys call it like you see it in the festival. And just because you might be a name doesn't necessarily, you know where I'm going. I don't know if you can tell this story, but if you can, and then if you can, how this individual like took it with the human and everything, that because even she participated in this very amusing way. Can you talk about that? Can you tell the story?
She can talk about it. She talks about it too. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Miss Loretta Devine. So
Loretta Devine, guys. Now, you for the chat, I'm just holding it up. You know, Loretta Devine, brilliant actress, my opinion, underrated.
Oh yes.
And you may know of her from, like, her most famous appearance was probably the with the Four Ladies. That was probably the most Whitney Houston. Yeah, Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah, when she walked across the barbecue, ribs, chicken.
Yes, that Loretta Devine. All right.
So Miss Loretta, she also supports independent filmmakers too. Just so you know, she loves us.
Oh,
she does. So I met Miss Loretta first. Let me tell you this part. I met Miss Loretta in Los Angeles at the Pan-African Film Festival. This is when I knew she was really a nice lady. She was walking on the red carpet. I had my little beanie on. Hot. It was cold out there. We were just passing out flyers because this is when I was getting ready to start the Black Film Festival here in Vegas. So we were just down there networking, passing out flyers in LA at another Black Film Festival. Miss Loretta walks on the carpet, and we all got our cell phones out taking pictures of her and everything. One of the young ladies that was with me, her phone jammed, and she's like, I can't get my picture. I want a picture of her. Miss Loretta heard her saying that. She took, and the man that was with Miss Loretta was like, come on, we don't have time for this. She was like, the devil is a lie. I do got time for this, right? We unhooked the rope on the red carpet and walked out into the audience where we were, like onlookers. She said, come here, give me your phone. Now you have to be ready when celebrities is walking. It was so funny, right? So he said, you ready? Are you ready? Let's get this picture down. So we took pictures with her. She was so nice. Okay.
I can totally see her doing that. I totally see her.
So she walks back on the carpet and then she goes back into the thing. Okay. So that part happened. 2 years later, or three years later, she ends up in a film with an independent filmmaker who submitted that film to the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. Unbeknown to me, she was coming. I didn't know she was coming. And I seen the movie. Great, because like I told you, we don't spend money bringing celebrities here because it ain't about them. It is what it is. She came with the producers of the movie. And of course, her performance in the movie was A+. She got nominated for Best Actress in a feature. And we got other features from other independents who had nominees as well. So in that particular category was Best Actress in a Feature. Nominees are Loretta Devine, whoever, right? All these other people.
Right. Whoever, yeah.
And so at the award ceremony, of course, you can look around the room, 100, 150 people, 200 people in a banquet hall. And they're looking, they go, well, we already know who won this part. We already know who's going to get the prize in this category. I mean, it's Loretta Devine. She's here. Of course, that's why she's here. No, no, not in Las Vegas, baby. We don't do that. So in that category, the young lady who actually won that part of that nominee, that win, was a first timer, period. She had never been in a movie before. She had never been in anything like that. It was her first performance. And she not only got nominated for Best Actress in a Feature up against Loretta Devine, she actually won the Best Actress in a Feature. She won. Okay. So you got Miss Loretta Devine in the audience, and you got this person who, when the name was called, you saw the audience. It was like all eyes on Miss Loretta. Like, right?
How big my eyes are, right? That's probably everybody was.
Loretta just went, ooh, because we knew all the eyes were on her. Like everybody automatically thought. But when the other young lady's name was called, and her and the producers go up, they receive the award. They make their speech, and then it's like, oh my God, she didn't know. No, we don't ever disclose who won. We let it be the element of surprise all the time. Mm-hmm. And when she was even like, I don't know. Oh, she even thought, oh my God, I'm up against Loretta Devine. I already know who's gonna win. I mean, I'm glad I'm in the same category. Yeah. Fast forwarding, we do celebrate our legends who are in our midst, and I call her a legend because, like you said, she's underrated. Mm-hmm. So I knew when I knew from the producers that she was coming. You know what I mean? Of course, we did our due propers to make sure we were able to celebrate her. Mm-hmm. I also knew that she didn't win, so I was the only person in there not shocked because I know who the winners are beforehand. Fast forwarding though, Miss Loretta, at the end when we said, we would be remiss if we didn't celebrate, this beautiful, legend that's among us, blah blah blah, right? So when she came up on the stage, this is when she had a field day with everything. And what's beautiful is that she remembered where I met her at in Los Angeles. Hmm. And I was sitting in here trying to figure out where I knew you from, and I remember now, And then I'm in your festival and I don't win. Ooh, it was so funny. But what she followed up by saying, and who is this young lady that beat me? I mean, I've been acting on, and she just went into this whole comedic spill about it. It was hilarious. She had us on the floor, like laughing at her. And then, she said, oh, I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, I come to a festival and all of these people and don't nobody know, and I don't win. It was just hilarious. She was so.
I can hear her doing that.
Oh, she was just so down to earth and so funny. But she celebrated the young lady who did win. Mm-hmm. She acknowledged that I saw your film, and honey, you did that. Like you got your promise for you. She just. And then you saw them talking at the end of the award ceremony when we were dismissing and all of that. Mm-hmm. It was such a beautiful moment to see, like you said, an underrated, under-celebrated, phenomenal, brilliant
yes, yeah,
who came to a festival and lost the win in that particular category to a person who had never done movies before and was still able to walk with such grace and such poise and celebrate the young lady, and then go on to say, hey, this festival is different from any festival in the world. She encouraged me to hold true to the integrity of the festival. She said, had I won like everybody expected, I wouldn't be able to say what I'm saying about the integrity of this festival.
Right.
So that, that's it in a nutshell.
That's a testament to the festival. That's a testament to also Miss Loretta Devine in terms of the humility and the acknowledgement of the, actually calling it out and speaking it, the integrity of the festival. That's an amazing story. That's an amazing story.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be, in a position like that, to where even the ones who could complain, that could have went to the South. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're like, this festival She has obviously a broader reach, a more recognized name than I have. So of course she could have tarnished us. But at the end of the day, when you walk in the integrity you're obedient to what God called you to do. You do it the way God told you to do it, unapologetically, not looking to the left or the right for who is going to help you. If you know God told you to do this, then He's going to help you, and He's going to send you the help you need, straight up. And with that being said, even if it would have went south with her, she's not bigger than the God who gave me the vision.
For sure.
And so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. And so I'm glad that she was the type of woman who walked in integrity and supported the integrity of our festival and my integrity as a founder. I appreciated her so much. I love her to pieces. She's so amazing. Yep.
Perfect for the festival. We have a question here from OG Patrice. She's asking, ask Miss Michelle, who is the keynote speaker this year?
Well, Mr. John Amos from Good Times is going to be here.
Whoa! Whoa, everybody's favorite, okay?
He's going to be here. And he has a movie in the festival as well. It's called Because of Charlie. Really good movie. And so Mr. John Amos will be in the house.
That is such good news. Okay, guys, you're hearing it. Another reason.
There's some other folks too. They haven't confirmed whether all of them are going to be here as of yet. But there's a film in our festival that is called Remember Me, the Mahalia Jackson Story. It is produced by a lady named Victoria. I can't think of her last name, but Victoria, the lady who directed Ray. You guys know Ray, the movie.
Yes.
So she did a movie called Remember Me, Mahalia Jackson. It's a documentary narrative piece. Stars Lettucey, Columbus Short is in it. Keith David is in it. A lot of name folks are in it. And they have another premiere on the 19th, I think, in LA. So they're working out the details. So I believe all of them are going to be in the house because she just emailed me a couple of days ago to say, hey, we found out that this other festival don't interfere with your date. So we're working on the details now. So I'm just waiting on the confirmation from them. So we know John Amos is going to be in the house. And, potentially Lettucey, Keith David, and Columbus Short will also be here with us this year.
That's what we know so far. Las Vegas Black Film Festival popping, guys. Okay, so here's what I wanted to ask you, and then we can kind of lead into some things, and I'm going to drop the link for anybody who wants to come up and maybe ask Miss Michelle any direct questions. So we've mentioned quite a lot that's going on, and it's absolutely amazing what I'm hearing. When is the actual award ceremony for this year's? And is there anything that kind of you want to talk about in terms of the award ceremony itself for this year and what happens maybe afterwards?
So this year's award ceremony is the conclusion of the festival on April 24th.
And that's Sunday, right?
On Sunday. And it happens between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. We like to close out with a brunch of sorts.
Okay.
So, because after Saturday, we want to wake up and eat good. That's when we feed you really good. It's all you can eat soul food brunch. I'm talking fried chicken, yams,
soul food. Southern soul food.
The hotel, Black people like to eat, and this is what we like to eat. Okay. So, so it's all you can eat soul food brunch, bottomless mimosas, live entertainment, and of course the awards presentation. And we give away like 40 awards: best feature, best short, best web series, best music video. And then we break it all down: best documentary, and then, best actor in a feature, best actress in a feature, best actor in a short, best actress in a short, best actor in a web series, best actress in, we break it all down: best photography, best music, or best whatever. You
believe in recognizing the talent. You don't play.
We break it down.
Yes.
And so we're able to give away like 40 awards, which is amazing. You know what I mean?
Again, recognizing the talent.
Yeah. So that's what Sunday looks like when we close out on at the award ceremony. But Saturday night we turn up with the after the showdown, the actors talk about.
Yes.
This year I've incorporated a comedy show, honey.
Wait, a comedy show? Go ahead.
After the showdown.
Right. Come on, guys. Vegas. This and Miss Michelle, nope. Go ahead.
Every night there's a party. Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, and then we close out with the brunch on Sunday. There's a party every night, so you don't have to leave the hotel for nothing at all.
And I don't plan to.
You won't need an Uber. The only time you need an Uber is from the airport location and back to the airport. That's it.
Boom.
Everything else is in house. And our festival passes, you know, Frank, they're reasonably priced. The hotel offers 50% off to everyone who uses the discount code that's on our website.
I have used it. I'm set.
Hey, you can't miss with it. You can't miss because you know it is what it is. Nobody can do it like Las Vegas. Nobody. I have paid $1,500, okay, to go to a particular festival, to have all access, and you can't even access all things, you know. And now, in excess of the $1,500 pass that I bought, I got to fly there. I got to get my own hotel.
Yeah.
And I got to feed myself every
pay for food. Yes.
All the time. And I got to have transportation, Uber or rent a car, some kind of, to get around everywhere. I was like, oh, I done spent $4,000 coming to this.
Yes, absolutely. Just on one trip to go to one festival.
Right.
And see, so this other part is, remember that, you know, she's setting up a festival with that in mind. So you have this situation where she's being conscious of the budget as well, and not just, you know, requiring, you know, people who attend to, you know, have to break the bank in order to attend.
I don't want you to break the bank, which is why we have people that come back every year. They're like, I can afford Vegas and I'm gonna have a good time.
Yes.
I don't even have a movie in the festival, but I'm going. You know, that speaks to, you know, really what we had to offer. Because if I don't have a movie in other festivals, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna be there.
Yeah, I hear you on that. As a fellow filmmaker, I was explaining to someone else that really the best way to attend festivals is when you have something in it.
Right.
You know, from a creator standpoint, as a creator, it's a little hard to go when you personally don't have something in it as well. Not that being said, of course. Right. That being said, though, it definitely pays to support. Like this, for example, this year, I'm attending, and there's so much more going on. First, making the connection with good people like you, experiencing the festival and all the people, good, talented people that are going to be there. Hey, the way I want to be a part of the family. I'm coming to join up in the family. And then and then on top of that, it's all the networking so that we can move forward and continue to work together and build together, leaving the festival.
That part. I will tell you, I have been in, like, some of the filmmakers who have come, they actually call and say, hey, do you, because they know I'm an actress too, okay? I coach actors and all of that stuff. So they're like, do you, would you play a role in one of our movies and, you know, help us out with the promotion? Yeah, I've been in several films that have been produced by independents who have come to Las Vegas, and I fly myself to wherever they are because I understand the budget. Yes. They ain't no budget to fly me in. They asking me to help. So I fly myself in.
Fly in on your own dime.
Yeah, and study my lines as if Hollywood called me. Seriously. And those people come to Vegas every year, and they bring more people, because they're like, that lady bought a plane ticket, studied the lines, got on my set, didn't act like she was the boss. Listen, if it's your vision, I'm not the boss. You hired me or asked me, whatever, to play a part.
To play a role.
Send me my script. I study my lines. I come prepared. What you need me to do. And I do what I need to do, and I come home. Next thing you know, they got a film. And, you know, and I was able to help. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's what it's all about for me. Because I believe one day they're going to make it, and maybe they will be able to pay me one day, and maybe they will. It's not even required. Just make it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're living and breathing. Someone put it above, you know, leadership begins with serving people. And that's what you're talking about. You're being as much of a service as you can. And we know our God, he blesses that, he honors that.
Absolutely.
So he blessing you. I mean, it's not a surprise.
And I'll be someone tell you, I'll be like, whoa, let me see. I can plant seed over there.
Yes.
Harvest time, but it's harvest time.
That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so what I want to do here, and I'm gonna go ahead and copy the link in case anybody wants to come up. I'm dropping it into the chat now, and while we do that, I want to ask or get your thoughts on pulling back now. This festival is going to be exciting. We're going to be there and we're going to make the connections and do all the things that we spoke of. What I want to ask you is, from your perspective, how do we maximize this notion and this concept of making sure that we work together at your festival? How, from your perspective, how do we make sure that we stay on mission with uplifting the culture, and then whatever else that, whatever our personal objectives are, how do we do that at your festival?
Network, talk to people, talk to everybody, particularly the people that you may look at and go, oh, I don't want to talk to. No, talk to them. That happened at one of our festivals. Young lady ended up walking away with an $11 million movie deal. I didn't even know he was in the building, okay? So that's how you maximize. You talk to as many people as you can, find out who they are, why they're here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
mention your workshops as well that day, because you didn't get a chance to really go too deep into them. I'm assuming some of this stuff can happen on that Saturday when workshop day.
On those Saturdays, like we have this thing for the master filmmakers where we teach everything that you do before you pick up a camera, because a lot of people fail in that area. Before you pick up a camera, we want you to know everything you need to do so you don't fail that, so you get to the finish line with your film. We also have master cinematography in the house that's going to teach people, like I was saying, how to make a movie with a camera, whether you got a iPhone or whatever kind of phone.
I'm going to go, while you're talking about that, I'm going to go to that and go to that page on your website. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, or you can, and also we bring in entertainment lawyers who talk about, the ins and outs of good contracts and that type of thing. And then we've got distributors that will be in the house that will help you get on the right platforms with your work. And, again, you understand the contracting and, what your compensation should be. All of those things happen at the festival where we teach and showcase, the work. It's just, and they're classes, master classes, where we just help people with what you need to know, because a lot of people pick up a camera and never finish a movie, or they pick up a camera and then you can tell that they didn't do the work that they needed to do before they picked up the camera. And that happens. They don't get no distribution deal. Like, you need to try again. You need to start over. But,
And people, and what you find, even in that, I'm sure you try to be as supportive as you can. We encourage people to always kind of start where you are, but recognize that there is a technique that you do have to learn. So even if you start out not necessarily knowing and executing at the highest level, you get into it and then you learn it over time, right?
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for. Like, we support people, even some of the films that maybe didn't make it in the festival, or maybe they did, but they didn't win or get nominated for anything. Those are people that I'm more focused on, because if you're already making winning films, then, you got what it takes. You just got to keep sharpening your axe. But right. If you got a film and you made it in the festival, but it was a little shaky, it didn't get nominated for, anything. Right. I focus primarily on those people because they had the tenacity to start and finish a movie. Now, when I see areas of weakness or what have you, what I end up doing is supporting them in those efforts to say, hey, if you sharpen up a little bit here, oh my God, if you sharpen up a little here, let me help you, let me support you here, because I can see where, and so you get that from me and my team and the presenters that I bring in who have the same heart. Because if you ain't got that heart, we don't want you in Vegas. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are.
So that attitude of always supporting growth and nurturing growth from wherever you are, at the same time you're acknowledging excellence.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. You see, we got OG Patrice up here. Go ahead, Patrice. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Frank?
Doing good.
Hey, Queen. What's up, sis?
I see you, girl. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm doing wonderful, girl. I miss you. I miss Vegas. I miss Vegas.
You got to be here in April so I can look at your pretty face, girl. Let's make it happen.
Well, you already know I'm coming. That's why I'm telling you to make sure I have my VIP passes on deck, ready. Frank gonna meet me there,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna represent your colors again, cause you know how we did last time.
Oh, girl.
And I am excited. I'm excited because I haven't seen you since before COVID.
I know. I know. That's crazy. That's
Yeah, so I miss y'all. I miss y'all. So it's gonna be wonderful just to have my face in the place, to see y'all faces, and just to get hugs, and yeah, and definitely support. You already know you got that. You always had that. So I
sister.
appreciate you.
You one of those sisters that don't just support with your mouth. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah,
people always
yeah.
have like, I got you, girl. I'm gonna support. You have sent so many. You have sent so many people. You have not only supported with your dollars and your presence, but you have sent other people my way. You have connected me with people like Frank and other greats in the industry. And like you just said, I haven't seen you since in 2 years, like since before the pandemic. But the sisterhood and I mean, for you talking about me somewhere else, you know what I mean, and haven't even seen me in 2 years. So that just speaks to the integrity, to the sisterhood, to
Mhm.
that you are. It God for you, and I'm so happy that I get a chance to see you this soon this year,
I
next month.
know.
Mhm.
I appreciate you. I will be there this coming weekend too. I have to come this coming weekend for something, and then I'm gonna try to hook up with you while I'm there. Maybe we can do lunch or something. But listen,
Absolutely.
I did not know that Promise was in Arizona. Do you know that's where I am?
Oh, well, girl. Then I'm gonna put y'all in touch. I'm gonna send you her number.
Please do that. Listen, here's my number. I'm gonna put it in the back chat.
Okay.
And while
And
you're
make
doing that, go ahead. Go ahead.
and keep my number, and so when I get out there, I can reach out to you.
Mhm.
You
You'll
see
do.
that?
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll-
and it definitely hooked me up with Promise because I'm in Arizona as well. So yeah, I could get up with my sister and we can chop it up as well. But for the events now, is both nights, the Friday and the award night, is both nights is green, or does it matter?
You can wear any color you want, but the theme color is emerald green and with splashes of gold for the whole
N-
weekend.
Okay, but the main night is your Friday night. That's for
Uh-huh.
green carpet.
Red, orange carpet, green, everything else.
Your orange carpet, green, everything else as far as
Yes.
attire is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right. I look forward to it. I'm so happy for you. I am so it's listen, I've always supported, but because ever since I met you years ago when we met there in Vegas, I've always told people about you and what you've done as far as the Las Vegas Black Film Festival, because it's so wonderful to see a Black woman in this space creating platforms. And when I tell y'all, this sister is the truth. And when
Mhm.
I say she really does help people, she
Mhm.
put people in her films.
Mhm.
I mean, people that probably wouldn't have ever got a chance
Mhm.
to express their creativity as artists. She give them opportunities. So and that's why I continue to support her and will always rock with her. She know
Yes.
I'll call her on the phone if I see something. I'll be like, get on it. Do I not do that?
Yes, you do that.
Right.
You do
So
that.
she know, and I
And
love.
we're
I just,
seeing
I'm,
it too. I mean,
I,
the stories that she's telling us about, and we can witness from the beginnings where it is right now. When you go on the festival, she has a section that are the archives where you can see all these things that she's talking about.
Yeah.
And we see, when she relates these stories, these emotional stories about um, some of the individuals, we know that it's real. We know, and so we're really seeing and really feeling the quality and the nature of this festival and who Miss Michelle is. And I want to say this too, with OG Patrice. This another good thing about this is that Patrice, I believe you come from the background more of stage performing, be it acting and singing, but you have someone that's coming in and being supportive of a film festival and participating, learning more. You never know, you might see Patrice doing more and more. She's kind of getting a start with me in terms of voice acting, right? But
Absolutely.
right, and but that's just the toe in the water. We can continue to do more of that, and next thing you know, you have someone new coming in and who's being supported,
Yeah.
and nurtured, and you just never know where it can go from there.
Look, the only reason you haven't seen Patrice on the big screen with me is because she left Las Vegas right before that moment.
Listen, now you know that I'm in Arizona, which is right down the street. Look, me and Promise, we'll get in the car together and we'll roll back out to Vegas.
Promise came down this year because I called her because the guy who won, I was telling Frank earlier, the guy who won the showdown, you know, he got this big gig with some Warner Brothers somewhere, and he wasn't available.
Wow.
We were filming the movie, so I called my 2-time champion. I was like, I got this film in mind, and I need, you know, so we're gonna shift the characters a little bit, and I'm gonna make you the lead, you know, and that's how it came right on down to Las Vegas. We shot the film in her parts anyway in a couple of days, and got her back, and I finished the movie, and here we are, Kid Folk coming to the big.
Right. And not only that, Miss Michelle has also supported me. She know when I was in the show in Vegas.
Yes.
She came to see the show at that I was in Vegas when I was portraying Etta James.
Mm.
And when I was in the stage play, you came to that. It wasn't even your production, and you came to that. So listen, when I say how important it is to support each other in this culture, in this art, that, you know, we talked about this last night, Frank, where doors are not always open for people that look like us.
Yes.
No,
people like you, Miss Michelle, and Frank have built your own doors, and you walking through them. If they don't have a door for you, create your own doors, and that's what I love about you guys that's doing that. So I will always rock with you and continue to support you. So I will see you soon, and somebody else on the panel. I'm gonna shut up and let them talk.
Good stuff, Patrice.
Love you, girl.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. Call me this weekend. Make sure you do.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in, Patrice. And yes, indeed, next we have Adrienne Nash. It's been a minute, Adrienne, since you called in on one of my panels. I'm glad you decided to join this one. If you pick one, you know, if you had to pick one, this was definitely one to call in. How you doing, Adrienne?
Hi, Adrienne.
Hi, Miss Michelle. Hi, OG. Hi, Frank.
Hey, Adrienne.
I'm batting my eyelashes with my voice.
Oh, I love it. I can see it.
Adrienne. Go ahead.
Miss Michelle,
Ma'am.
how can I help? Now, let me be clear. My pockets is real thin, but I'm that help you change your stockings, help you change your dress, serve some plates, run some errands. What you need? Do you need anything like that? What you need?
Are you in Vegas? Where are you?
Well, I'm not in Vegas at the moment, but I can come to Vegas to help you with what you need.
I love it. Let's talk. I'm gonna make sure we exchange phone numbers so we can get acquainted.
Miss
Yeah,
Michelle, I got Adrienne's number. We talk all the time, so I will hook you two up like you gonna hook me up with Sister Promise.
There you go. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, I'm not cheerleader in the background. I'll be cheering in the background, real loud.
I love it because what I like to do. Like Frank and I did this before when Patrice hooked us up. He and I talked on the phone. You know, I was on my way to the mall. I think I was sitting in the parking lot. I just sat in the car. We talked for probably 2 hours on the phone that day.
Yeah.
I was saying, forget the mall. This was why I needed to get in my car, get in the zone so we could communicate, break bread. You know what I mean? And I got a chance to know his spirit. You know what I mean? And that's why I welcomed this interview and this interaction. And now he's coming to Vegas. And, you know, it is what it is at this point. Yeah. I would love for the same opportunity with you, Adrienne, to break bread so you can know who I am, you know, sister girl to sister girl. And then we talk about working together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Well, I'm always glad to support.
I love it. I love it. That's the energy right there. That's what it's all about. I love that. I love it.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
And Miss Michelle,
well,
you know, you remember the other young man that I got you to interview with, Marcus, remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to still remind him so he can still come too. I'm hoping that he can be able to come to the festival as well.
Okay, that would be so awesome because we talked a long time on that show.
You surely did. You surely did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to mention, go ahead.
That was it. That's what I was saying.
So, and just to mention, yeah, I love the way we connected. And the only reason why I didn't move forward is it was really on me. I got more busy unexpectedly with a number of things. Life or Death was one. And I mean, we had set it up. Miss Michelle was going to kind of have me do something in conjunction with the festival, with Life or Death, maybe do some things. We were just looking for ways to synergize and work together. And I wasn't able to follow up. Miss Michelle had to go, you see, she's about her business and she had to make sure things happen. But still wanted to move forward and support. And that's why I told Patrice, and Patrice will tell you this, when I show up, for me, it's going to be all about the festival, doing everything I can to support as well and just be a part of it.
Everybody, Frank, everybody, because you don't know who will be, seriously.
That's right.
And I'm not the kind of person, you know how some people, they don't want you talking to certain people. You be like, why I can't talk to them? They be like, right here in my face. Like, what you mean?
Girl, you better say it. You better say it.
I brought them in. So, I mean,
right.
Look, when I tell you they can miss me with all that stuff at these other places you go, I'm like, come on, So talk to everybody. That's my point. Talk to everybody. And even if I didn't tell you to talk to everybody, do it anyway. I'm just saying. If somebody who's, acting like they don't want to be talked to, let me know, because then I'll walk in and be like, let me introduce you to such and such. We don't act like that here. Celebrities know you don't get to come here and act like that.
Right. You don't get to be that way. It's a whole nother vibe and spirit.
Yeah, you don't get to be that way. I don't care who you are. Everybody, celebrities and all. It's a requirement. It's a demand. Like, if you feel like you're that great among us, then why are you among us? Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, never gonna do that. And so some of the celebrities have found that out. They found out that I don't care. You pull your britches up the same way we all do. What we doing? I'm trying to figure it out. So no, talk to everybody. Talk to everybody.
And that's why you have the festival and you have it set up the way that you have it. Among all these other things, you want people to connect. I'm going to read this one from Ashley Jackson. Appreciate your comment, Ashley. I just want to say that it's a beautiful and inspiring sight to see my sister from a different mister making such a positive impact in the industry. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Where's that part of the world is Ashley in?
Ashley, I believe, is in Georgia. Ashley, I believe you're in Atlanta, right? Atlanta, Georgia. And I also know Ashley from a couple different ventures as well. We share a hobby together, the Simulation Football League, and it's kind of interesting. She's into football, and it's a simulation thing we got going. And then I've cast her in a role in Life or Death. So yeah, Ashley is confirming Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, Ashley. A whole lot of Atlanta folks be in the house. A whole lot.
So please, we trying to give you every excuse to join us at this great festival and join the family as well. And I think we're gonna get a few people to come out and follow us on out there too.
That'll be.
Here's the thing. I want to say, if you do decide, don't wait till the last minute, because it's not like they keeping people out. It's not like they're hurting for people. We want you to come, but don't wait till the last minute, because you might not.
The discount rooms fill up really fast at the hotel. You don't want to be staying at the hotel down the street when you could have been right there at a discounted price. At this host hotel. Also, you don't want to wait until the last day to be trying to buy a pass when you could have bought a pass and lost up for the whole weekend, right? When you get to the door, we don't sell passes at the door. Those are pre-bought items. You know what I mean? So you can enjoy the entire festival at a discounted price. If you wait until you get to the festival, and you want to be there for the weekend, and you want to come to everything, you're paying like $1,200 for a la carte things when you could have just paid $300 and lost up for the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? So people do it all the time, which is why I brought that up. They're like, oh, I'm only going to come and I'm only going to do that one premiere night. I'm going to do my workshop on the next day. They spend like $150. Okay. One workshop is $100. Premiere $50. Okay. But now you got all these other workshops, $50, $75, $150 for the banquet alone. And then you got premiere night, and then you got all these other movies, and everything is a la carte priced open.
Mhm.
We start the festival. There are no passes available at the door, and we do not sell passes at the door. Everything is a la carte. So
Mhm.
if you're planning to come, it would behoove you to just go on and buy the pass or pre-purchase what you know you're going to come to, because at
Mhm.
the store, we purposely price it differently like that. So we encourage people to buy a pass and support everybody. Don't just come and
Yes.
support your mom and them at 3 o'clock, and then you don't want to come to the rest of the festival. Support everybody else. Like, what are we doing? It's a family.
Them. Yes. So
Yeah.
definitely, be inspired to if you're gonna come, consider the passes so that you can get the full experience if at all possible. Now,
Yes.
it's basically just don't expect to get a pass on the day of if you
I don't
decide to do
think not that price, and that's a good price. I'm trying to tell y'all
it.
something.
It
Yeah,
is absolutely a good price for all of the
for the
nights and
all access
everything that's
festival
going on. The
pass.
all SX pass
It
is
includes
priced
the food.
very affordable. Yes,
And
very
Includes
affordable.
includes the food. Come on, come on.
I
the food.
know, right?
The food. The
Getting the hookup.
Absolutely. We're giving you every reason. So what I want to do as we begin to finish things off, I want to give one more opportunity for anybody in the chat. If you have any questions for Miss Michelle about really anything that we've covered tonight, please do so in the chat. You're still welcome to dial in if you want to ask directly. Gail has been dropping the link in the chat as well. So if you have
Miss
any,
Michelle,
Mhm.
um, where someone did ask, I think it was Poppy earlier. He asked where can he see some of your work, some of your films.
Oh, if you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Las Vegas Black Film Festival.com.
Okay.
And you can see, I think I have like maybe 5 or 6 of my feature films up there, and a couple of my shorts are there for your viewing pleasure. And you will be enjoying some of them. I recommend you take a look at Crystal, Transparent, The Truth. Is That Man Your Husband? That's a funny one.
Yeah, I saw most of them. I saw Crystal. I saw Is That Man Your Husband. I saw most of your film.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's about 5 or 6 of them that are free to watch on my YouTube channel.
So let me ask you, Miss Michelle, and I know you mostly for film and everything, but are you gonna write another stage play?
Yes, I have already. I have. I just haven't put it up on stage. Pre-pandemic, we were going to do another play, and then pandemic happened. So,
Can I
now
can I audition for a part?
you listen here, sister girlfriend. You don't have to audition to do for me for nothing. All you
Well,
have
I
to
don't mind auditioning. I don't want nobody to think I'm getting special treatment.
it's really, I would say it's kind of special and not special, because here's the thing. If we were, let's say this still the relationship dynamic was there, but you were not talented, you just can't be in the play. We still friends.
Right. I love
You're
you.
being real right now.
She a straight
Yeah.
shooter. That's what I love about her. I
Yeah.
love straight shooters because I'm a straight
Yeah.
shooter. Thank you. I
She's
appreciate that.
acknowledging the talent right here,
So
Patrice.
I
That's
already
what's
know what
happening.
you're bringing to the table. All I gotta do is be like, okay, I'm casting Patrice in that role. Now everybody else can audition.
Right.
Well,
Right.
well,
And
let
that's
well, let me know and I'll be there, sis. Just let me know.
Yeah, we talked about that television series that I've been working on for some years now, right?
Yes.
Well, stay tuned, because I already got you locked and loaded for that one. That's what.
Oh, snap. Thank you,
see,
sis. I really appreciate that.
these things are what happen when you're in the
So
family.
we got to break bread. I'll be there this weekend coming up. We definitely I'm gonna make time for you for us to break bread for sure, okay?
We need to do that, because it's some
Yep.
stuff on the horizon. And I'm going to say this publicly, because I can say this. When I first started working on this particular television series years ago, I was doing my homework on the culture, and Patrice know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to kind of do it in a general state, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I want you guys to know how Patrice stood up for me. All right, so in this particular culture of artistic work, these folks is real, like, you can't do a story on that without my permission. And I'm like, you don't get to tell me what kind of story I can do on whatever I want to write a story about. This ain't about you. This is about, only reason I'm even talking to you is because of what you do. I mean, I don't need your permission.
Oh yeah, I know.
And Patrice was like, because she introduced me to some of these folks in this particular cultural situation that I'm writing about. And they was like, I mean, I guess they felt like the reason she was introducing me is because I was seeking some kind of validation or some kind of like, you know, like, okay, my stamp of approval is on what you're writing. No, and never is that gonna be so.
You know how people are when they get big and they make it to a certain plateau, then they head swell up. So this particular person, we ain't gonna name no names.
No names. But Patrice, she just took the air out that balloon and said, no, she do what she want to do. I was just making an introduction here. Like you don't get to tell her. She took up. And these are people that, you know, she grew, you know, family kind of almost in a way, sort of.
Yeah. But that's how I roll. That's how I roll. Like you're not gonna do good people, you know, wrong just because you a big person now in the industry or whatever. Like, yeah, I ain't rocking with that.
And she let it be known. And so I wanted to say that publicly here to let you know she a real one. It don't matter. And we have the same kind of spirit. I don't care. Let my blood family try to say something or come for. No. Now see, that's what we're not doing. We're not doing that. So this queen got my back, and I've known it for a long time now. And I'm grateful for that because that's hard to find. That kind of relationship, friendship, sisterhood is just in our industry. You know,
and she know when I tell her I'm coming to save my ticket. And even if I don't come, I have still supported and said, give that ticket to somebody. Now that's support.
Absolutely.
That's support. You know,
very special. So here's what I want to do. I have Von's question up, but before I do that, well, maybe that's a quick answer right there. Let's make that a quick one. And then let's pivot to Ashley Jackson, who has been very patient. I have her up on the panel as well, who I'm sure wants to make some comments and ask a question or two. So Von asks, will any of the events be recorded?
They'll be live streamed.
Live stream.
We always live stream the award ceremony and the showdown. That's it.
Okay. There you go.
Gotta be present for Vaughn.
That's right. Come on, Vaughn. And you're not far. Vaughn is in Pasadena. So go ahead.
Vaughn in California. Yep. He could come on down. Him and the missus, right?
You see my eyes.
So come on, Vaughn.
And Vaughn is in life for death too. So he need to quit playing and just come on.
Just get it. But about 2 hours away. 2 hours in the car, 20 minutes in the air.
There you go. So come on, Vaughn. So Ashley, again, like I mentioned with Ashley, we share common interests. And one of them, I believe my team is winning right now. I believe so. You know. Ashley, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, what's going on, Ashley?
Oh man,
how you doing,
wonderful.
Ashley?
We're doing wonderful.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you too, beautiful. Great to see you and be a part of this.
Yes.
And yes, Frank, you have been winning.
Yeah, I believe so.
Wait,
I'm
what team
a little
is playing?
busy right now, but
Who's
I'm
playing?
gonna come back and check it out.
Who's playing?
So I have a team in the Simulation Football League named the Jacksonville Kings. And I'm playing another team right now, and I believe we're up. I believe we're doing pretty well.
Okay.
I think you all are winning at this moment as well. And I am the quarterback and the general manager of the Arizona Scorpions. So,
yes,
it's
you
been
got to learn about the Simulation Football League. It's a nice little thing we got going on.
It is. Especially, yes.
She's a quarterback. Yeah.
You better come through, Ashley. Girl, let me just jump to quick sidebar because when I was coming up with, what is that, baby?
I believe that's Ashley's line. Got somebody coming in. Yeah, go ahead.
When I was a kid, I loved play. I was a tomboy, straight up tomboy. I love sports. I played football with my brothers out in the middle of the street. That got so skilled with the football that I tried out for tag football or flag football when I was in high school, and I was the quarterback.
Look at that.
Oh, football girl. What?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That is absolutely wonderful to hear. So you understand. It's different, being in the sports league and in male dominated leagues usually. You have to prove that you know a little something, to be accepted. But then, you change a lot of minds when people have preconceived notions of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it is a pleasure to be a part of this panel. Of course, Frank and Patrice, it's always a pleasure being with you. But Miss Michelle, this is an honor to meet you.
Absolutely.
And I just had a question for you. What inspired you to get into the industry, and how difficult has this road been for you?
Like I tell people all the time, I was born for this. I came out of the womb creating stuff. When I was a kid, I was always like not really a loner. I'm kind of like a weird spirit. Like, and what I mean by that is I'm both introvert and extrovert. I love people and I love to be by myself. So when I was a kid, I would play with dolls and create all kind of little worlds and stuff. And then I would, write it down and, all of that. So I think just, out of the womb, just being raised by the parents that I had who allowed me to just do what I do. There was no level of expectation that added pressure to my life for me to be trying to please anybody else. So it's like whatever I did, my parents were like, that's good. You know what I mean? That's real good. You did real good with that. And so, as far as I can remember foundationally, just being able to be authentically who I am allowed me the opportunity to find myself, find what I love freely, and then just be unapologetically doing it. So that's why I try to take the path that I was blessed to be on as a child, and without pressure, without intimidation, and of course intimidations came, but because of my parents, they were like, who told you can't do it? That type of thing. Those kinds of energies that I was raised by quickly helped me to ward off that kind of ridiculous thinking and just trust my own process of who I am and love who I am, crooked teeth, nappy hair, bucked, whatever. I'm perfect because this is the way God made me and I'm unapologetic in it. So I could be myself and being that way, it allowed me to just find my way. And those things become the inspiration behind everything I do, because I know I'm never going to be able to please everybody with what I do. So that ain't part of my focus. I don't care. But if you don't like it, there's a lot of things going on in the world. Go find something to enjoy. Those things are inspired because I ain't trying to please nobody but God and my own, life.
I love you already, and I just met you. Inspirational.
I'm happy.
Absolutely.
And so, how important to you is it to tell stories from our perspective? Because sometimes people can try to tell our stories, like what Frank is doing, trying to tell our stories from our perspective in a way that is, he doesn't use any profanity. He's not using anything like that. So how important is it to you to tell our stories from our perspective in a way that it should be?
It's very important. That's one of the foundational elements that caused me to want to do this Black Film Festival. Like I was telling Frank earlier, there's other festivals I went to where there was not even any representation for us on the big screen, and I'm like, that's, and upon graduating from college, the white man that told me, who the Black people were, the stars were, and I should just keep my day job after I'm paid $80,000 to go to school. Like, so, I just think it's so important that, we don't sit back and let people sit on us and hold us down and put a foot on our neck or whatever, saying that our perspective and our stories, should be told through the lens of somebody else's eyes when they can't even see it. And we should tell our own story, and we should use what we have, the resources that we have, to get those stories told. You know what I'm saying? And so it's very important. And kudos to Frank and to everybody that's part of his cast and the work that he's doing. to get these stories told. And shout out to all of the filmmakers who I personally support from around the world, and those that I haven't even met yet that are telling our stories, that are using their iPhones and whatever phone and whatever camera that they can get a hold of to tell our stories. Tell those stories. Tell them, and don't and tell them through our lens, the way we
Absolutely.
know them to be true, and not by some intimidated pressure of what somebody else thinks.
And
Period.
and just to elaborate a little bit more on that, Miss Michelle, not always seeing us in a light where just because we on the screen, we're playing the bad roles all the time, the negative roles all the time. Like enough of that already. We ain't gotta always be the drug dealers. We ain't gotta always be,
Right.
the prostitutes. We don't have to always be the negative roles all the time. Why can't we see us in a light, where there's a family nucleus, there's man, woman, and child, or and they're doing positive things, and they got good jobs, and they're inspirations, and they are setting the tone, and seeing that now, coming in, even with what Tyler Perry is doing, is
Yeah.
is wonderful, because we're starting to see that again. Like, we're not just seeing us being stereotyped in movies, on TV, and on the big screen. So
Yeah, I don't do that. I mean, my whole thing is when I tell a dark story from our perspective, because our people could be a mess sometimes, right?
Yeah.
yes, that's true.
That's just real. Mm-hmm.
But when I
Indeed.
tell stories, I always find a way in my storytelling, my process, to bring it to a place of light, so we can see that even though people have been in a dark place, the testimony is to show how we can overcome something. You know what I'm saying? So I tell real stories that people can identify with. And I tell you, some church folk be like, "Oh Lord, she done backslid. Jesus, I can't watch her movie," until they get to the end. Then they be like praising God up and they want to speak in tongues.
That is true. That is true.
If you can sit through the storm, baby, you can make it to the end. You be all right. But
Because at the
Yeah.
end, you always give God the glory. It always that wonderful, positive, happy ending, and I think that's what filmmaking on a positive note for us in the Black culture need to represent more. I see Frank style is that way. Since I've been working with him, I like his style of how he directs. He's so cool, and he's such a professional, Miss Michelle. Listen, I'm telling you,
I'm
I can't wait till you two meet, because I know y'all brains gonna already get to work working on some other level. but but Frank is the truth too. And when I met him in this space, Frank never even really talked about or told that he was an Emmy award winning filmmaker. Like, he never, like, he was so humble. And when
Mhm.
he just happened to mention it casually in a conversation, and I'm like, hello, you need to be putting that right there by your name. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It was just like, and everybody just motivated him.
I know I'm definitely gonna put it out there.
Absolutely.
You're like,
Yeah,
we got
no, that's how she is, for real.
business, y'all. Come on, stand up, Mr. Frank Goodness.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna,
Okay.
that's
Be
right.
ready,
We're gonna
Frank.
make sure we represent.
Oh Lord. I hear you.
We don't sing each other's praises. Ain't nobody else gonna do it.
There you go.
That's true.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. The festival have won awards. Whenever I say I'm the founder of I say the award-winning Las Vegas Black Film Festival.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, put some respect on it, right?
Check on my name. You understand?
Absolutely.
That's right.
It's so
Absolutely.
so deserving, because people like you guys work so hard, and you give people like us, actors, a platform to express our creativity, and you help bring that out with your
Yeah.
vision, what you envision for the role that this person is playing. And
Mhm.
that's where we need you guys expertise in bringing that out in us. So I just want to say thank you, to please keep on connecting and being creative, like you're doing with your writing, your producing, your directing, your editing. Like, I know y'all do it all. I be talking to Frank at
Mhm.
night. He be like, I'm up editing, and I
Mhm.
get it. I get it,
Yeah.
because
And Miss
it,
Michelle know too. She know from experience.
I just finished editing Kimpo. I just finished it like 2-3 days ago.
Boom.
Now I got to do the final watch. Make sure it's all clean. Make sure the score is clean and
Yeah.
sound levels are clean, and then I'm gonna export it and be done with that. You're ready for the next, you know.
Yeah, we grind. That's the discipline here. If you're gonna put it out, we grind on it.
Say that word, that D word again. You better
Discipline.
say it one more time.
Absolutely, you
For the
have
people
to
in the
have
back. Say it for the people in the back.
Okay.
That's what a lot of people
Absolutely.
feel that they're not disciplined. How many times you get people walking up to you saying, I want to make a movie, or I wrote a movie, and then you see them 5 years later, you're like, where that movie at? They're like,
Yeah.
you know, it's because discipline will cause you to go and look for ways to get it done and finish it. You know?
Maybe. So I have a question here. Carissa Hawkins is asking, "Hey, Carissa. Hey there. Will there be any workshops, projects, etc., available in Metaverse?" Now that's a forward-thinking question right there.
This is a big question. I'm gonna say probably next year. The
Mhm.
reason I said that is because I have a team of younger people that's been working with me, so I can stay focused on all of the material things that I have to grind out, you know, myself. And the metaverse, that's a whole nother world right
It
now.
truly is.
And all of those things that I do live have to be put together also for the metaverse world. So I have a group of young people that will be working with me to help get that part of the world put together. So, you know, we work pretty fast. So, you know, not this year, not for next month, but
But I'm glad you're asking that question
Yeah, that's a
because
great
you
question.
know, in many ways, as we know, if you've done, as we study and we kind of understand and develop an understanding of what's going to happen and what the metaverse is going to look like here in the next 5-10 years or so, um, it's a good question because we need to make sure that we carve out our place in the metaverse.
absolutely.
We got to make sure we do it. It's really, I think it's even appropriate to be talking about it in these independent filmmaking spaces.
Yeah.
Because, and you can follow up with this, Miss Michelle. It's going to be one way that we can have more democratization of our intellectual property.
And I'm gonna put it out here so you guys will know the level of which I have gotten involved with that. I'm so glad that question came across the table. What these young people, and I love it that they have surrounded me and they're like, let me show you what's new, what's popping, right? So I'm looking forward to, and we have it all slated right now in the metaverse to buy some property, some real estate, y'all, and build my own theater, if you will, right? So that I can show my own movies in the theater in the metaverse and charge passes and tickets just like you would if you were coming to the live version here at the Suncoast Hotel. You understand?
Hello. All right now.
That's good. That is beautiful.
We're opening offices in the metaverse. So I can have my administrative team there so they get paid for working behind the scenes, like, you know, not only the theater, but also with producing the movie so you can see how it's done. It's a whole lot going on in the metaverse. Everything we do live in the real world is going to be in the metaverse. So you have to think in terms of where you're going to live. You buy some real estate, you know what I mean? Where you're going to go to work at, all of those things. All of those things are available in the metaverse. Seriously. I was like, what? When they look, I was like, we can do that. Where they doing that, right?
Yeah, we got to make sure we're ready. It's really good to hear how you are preparing, you know, for your space, Miss Michelle, with it as well.
Now, Miss Michelle, let me ask you a question, because I already know from our mouth to God's ear, like I told Frank, like God has some much bigger in store for the both of you. Now, now I'm not saying if, I'm saying when. When you get big, you and Frank up there, are y'all gonna move to Hollywood, or you gonna always stay in Las Vegas, Miss Michelle? And same question even for you, Frank. Do you plan to stay in Florida, or are you gonna go all Hollywood on us?
I'm gonna go where God tell me to go. That's
what it is. I mean, Vegas is my home. I'm born and bred, so I'm gonna always have a piece of real estate here. But you know what? If I need to be wherever I need to be for a season to do whatever it is that God has called me to do, I just gotta be where I need to be.
Amen.
Y'all gonna be so big, y'all can have a home in Hollywood and still come back to y'all home and have a home there too. How about that?
How
Hey,
about that?
do
And
it Tyler Perry style.
And there
you
you go.
always have you come and see you, girl, no matter where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? It is
I
what it is.
appreciate that.
I
I
don't
appreciate that.
change. You already know. I don't change.
Look, you know, Tyler Perry is building an airport in Atlanta now, honey, for
We'll
him. An
go, Tyler.
airport. He finna have his own airport, y'all. Like,
Go,
listen,
Tyler.
yes, we are doing some. Listen, you know, when you see people like him, I know it has to give you all hope even more for the possibilities of what we can do with our talent, with our creativity. You guys as filmmakers, us as actresses and actors, like it just gives us hope that we busting down the door. They didn't want to let us in, but we kicking down the door that we created and made in our own space for us. And as long as we continue to support each other, that's so important. Miss Michelle know how I am about support.
Mhm.
Look, Miss. When I first moved there, Miss Michelle said, "Look, you doing too much supporting. You support so many people. Like you gonna learn because they all ain't gonna support." Listen, she told me that. Am I lying? Am I lying, Miss?
I tell
That's
you.
how big I am about supporting people. But
Mhm.
she was like, "But you gonna learn because everybody that you support ain't gonna support you when it to come time for you." And when I tell you, she was not lying because when it came to things that I was doing, the people that I knew that was important to me shows up, and that's how it always is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it never stopped
That's
you.
how it always is.
Never stopped
Yep,
And
you.
and I'm definitely
never,
gonna
never, never stop me.
absolutely. And that part really can't, this notion of support, we really can't say that too many times because this is an example of an individual in Miss Michelle who is building the momentum, starting from, something small, not despising the small beginnings,
Honey, that's it.
and and following the vision and having it grow. We definitely need to try to have that spirit of supporting what she's doing because she's demonstrating it. If anybody is showing that they're worthy of support, if you will, you go where it is. And so yeah, it's very encouraging when you hear, and we know from the examples that a Tyler Perry started small, or some of these individuals who have gone on to sign big deals, from being on, say, YouTube first, or just starting small, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Absolutely, it's encouraging, and we got to continue to try to support that, as we move forward.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. People always intimidated about starting because they don't have a budget or whatever. But like I told you in my story earlier, I didn't have no money, but I had a vision, and if I believe God gave it to me, the provision just came. It came through because you got to start. What was the worst thing that could have
Absolutely,
happened?
got to start somewhere. Everybody had to start somewhere first.
Yes,
Everybody,
everybody.
no matter what, how big they are now, everybody had to start at a first starting point at some point and did not have the revenue, the resources, the sponsorship and stuff that they now have at
Mhm.
even on a bigger platform. So
Right.
that's why I think it's important for us to support your local filmmakers and playwrights and things of that nature because the arts is almost a lost art in our community in some spaces.
Yeah.
And when you have people like you guys that are bringing it back to the forefront for our culture in
Mhm.
our communities,
Hmm.
just doing it on a local level, even that speaks volumes. And I think the community need to come out and support as
Yes.
much as they can. It's so important. And I learned that when I moved to Vegas 15 years ago. I learned that, and it's in just trying to support everybody that I could,
Hmm.
in the space. But Miss Michelle, I want to say thank you. I love you, and I will see you this coming weekend. I will reach out to you. I'm gonna
Okay.
let Frank close out with you. So any other things you guys want to discuss, I'm gonna go down. But sis, I love you, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you for coming in, Patrice.
You're welcome.
And so, yes, this is a nice segue, I think, to sort of take us to if you, and you probably don't have anything prepared, but covering all of the things that we've discussed so far,
Mhm.
I want to bring you to what you might consider to be closing remarks and anything that you feel like we haven't mentioned about what's coming up, or any words of encouragement that you want to leave for people as we close out.
Well, again, I just like to reiterate, like what Patrice was saying and what we've been talking about the whole time.
Mhm.
At the end, if you have a vision, a dream, a skill, a talent, something that you want to see materialize, you gotta go for it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Life is too short, and if we didn't learn that in times past, this past couple of years of this pandemic, where you're locked in the house, you can't do
Mm.
nothing. And I'm sure a lot of people, I know some people who were thinking about, oh my God, the world is coming to an end and I haven't even done this, or that yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, now
Mhm.
the world didn't end, so do it, okay? Go do it. Now that you have a chance, get up, stop talking, and go do something. By the
Yeah.
time I'm talking about something, Frank, I'm already, it's already in the works. I'm almost done with it by the time I'm talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I encourage people to just follow their dreams, get on up and make it happen. When you run into a brick wall, just take a step back, get a sledgehammer, knock it down, and keep going. You
Mm.
know, put on some mountain climbing shoes and climb that mountain, jump. Just do what you gotta do to keep it to go. And discouragement is I just think a vice of the enemy. Uh,
Mhm.
Doubt is a vice of the enemy. All things are possible to him that believes. So if you don't believe you can do it, you might as well not even start.
Mhm.
If you believe you can do it, just know on that path you're gonna run into some stuff that's gonna make you feel like, woo! I told
Yeah.
you when they hit me with that big bill, I was like, it shook me, but it didn't stop me.
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
it shook me, but I was like, well, listen, I didn't come up with this vision. God gave me the vision in the car. And God is bigger than that. So let's keep going, see what the end gonna be. 9 years
Yes.
later, it is what it is. So, and the best is still yet to come. So,
Yet to come.
you know,
Amen. See, so we have this beautiful testimony of a woman who lives by God's vision, and lives by her convictions. And we see where it started. We heard the story. We see where it is now. And so we just encourage everybody to continue to come out, support. I'm gonna type in all of the information, linking to the festival on this page as well. Is there like any particular contact, if we have just people who come by this a little bit later and watch it and they want to find out more, or maybe reach out directly to you? Is there a spot maybe on the site that they can reach out, contact info?
all of my social media handles are on the website, but you can find me on Facebook, Miss Michelle Boykin. On
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Miss Michelle is all together, MS Michelle with 2 L's, Boykin, Boykin on Facebook. And then on Instagram, I'm LVBFF. Those are the acronyms for Las Vegas Black Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter, it's official LVBFF Miss Michelle. You find me.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy to find, but all of my handles are on the official website, which is Las Vegas Black Film Festival.com, all spelled out. And I'm pretty easy to find. Contact numbers, emails, everything there. And I check all my own emails.
Mm. Okay, you can have nobody, somebody coming in to read for you and
Nah,
miss a potential blessing. You're gonna make sure that you
I'll be
get
like,
it
what
all.
you think about this? Okay, let me read this email. I always get back with people. Absolutely.
So you have someone who is also accessible on top of everything else. We've talked about how wonderful the festival will be. I am going, Patrice is going, and we invite you to continue to go as well. Let's just do a big meetup there. I already told Miss Michelle I want to be part of the family, so I'm coming out to link up and get connected as well. And I'm so looking forward to it. So looking forward to it.
We're gonna have
So
fun.
what I like to do, Miss Michelle, and everybody in the chat knows this. So I'm gonna play my outro, and we have people, guys, say that, go ahead and type something and say some nice things on our way out. Before I go, let me acknowledge all of you who stayed with us in the chat who watched this whole thing live. I appreciate the time. You could have been anywhere, but you spent a little bit of time to learn about the festival, Miss Michelle, and what we're doing here. Really join the movement. You know, this is really about pushing forward and joining a movement. Thank you for that. Thank you. I want to give all props to our moderators. I think we had a clown come in here. You know, you're starting to do something when the clowns come in. We did. Somebody came in and typed something crazy in the chat, and the mods were on it. You know, as soon as they showed up, they got rid of it. They dealt with it. So props to the mods.
You know what they gonna do. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? I'm gonna make a movie about you. Keep it up.
Right. So yeah. So I'm gonna play our outro, and if you have a few minutes, I'm gonna invite you. Don't leave the back. I'm gonna go ahead and put you. I'll drop you in the back once I start, and let's chop it up a little bit for just a couple minutes at the very end, if it's okay. Okay. All right. Any last things before we head out from you? You want to say peace to everybody?
I'm just so happy. Thank you to everybody who listened to my story. Hopefully, I will see you and meet you in person at the 9th annual Las Vegas Black Film Festival happening here in fabulous Las Vegas. Nobody does it like Las Vegas Black Film Festival, y'all. See you soon. Thank you, Frank.
Amen. See y'all soon. Wow.